channel. I am the Magick Mage, an intuitive tarot reader, divination expert, and astrologist. And today I am going to be doing a tarot reading for you guys on how you can improve your relationship to your financial abundance / your finances. And it's going to be a pick a card reading, so I'm excited to get into this. It's going to be a pretty long video, but I'm going to make sure that every pile gets enough time to talk about where your finances are currently at, what patterns we've seen you have, and any guidances that Spirit has for you so that you can end up having a relationship with your finances where you are easily able to spend money, you're easily able to attract the money you need or want, desire for any of your needs, wants, and desires, and you're able to have like stability in your life, which is really why money is here. So disclaimer, I am not a financial expert. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not anybody who has any ability to legally tell you how to improve your finances. This is just advice, and if you feel intuitively guided to take this advice because you feel like it can help you, then that's what I'm here to do, and nothing else, nothing more. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. We're gonna get straight into it. I've got 4 piles over here. Each pile corresponds to a specific like crystal or number, and you just have to pick what one works for you. And in the comments below are going to be the timestamps for each of the videos. I'm gonna write them down so I don't forget when I finish this reading. I am a little bit out of breath, but hopefully I don't come crashing and burning during this video. I'm also gonna adjust my camera because I'm sitting really far from my desk, if you can't tell. So pile number 1 is this clear quartz crystal. So beautiful. That's pile number 1. Someone just came back to the house. Okay, pile number 2 is this amethyst crystal. And that was for pile number 2. I'm like being so delicate here. Pile number 3, we have rose quartz here. Just a rough piece of rose quartz. And that corresponds to pile number 3. And pile number 4, we have a selenite wand that's broken. And that's pile number 4. Fun fact about selenite before we start. So it's common misconception that if you put selenite in water, it will dissolve like that. However, it's not a kind of crystal that dissolves in water like that. It takes a really long time for selenite to dissolve in water. So if you're doing any full moon rituals or new moon rituals, or you're needing to put selenite in something for a little bit, cleanse it, clean it, whatever, water isn't gonna kill your crystal, okay? Just like how everyone's been saying, because I used to be so scared, and then I'd drop it in water and I'd be like, nothing happened, but I'd freak out, clean it off, and over exaggerate. And so yeah, if you're like that with your selenite pieces, or if you're thinking of getting selenite, then just know that it's a lot sturdier than we've been led to believe. Alrighty, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with pile number 1. This will be 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Hey guys, if you picked pile number 1, this is your reading. We're gonna do this one a little bit different to how I've done the last few videos that I posted, and we're not going to overemphasize on going through the deck. I'm just gonna try and give you guys a good reading that will help you guys, so all you guys and gals. So yeah, whew. I am definitely a little bit flustered here. You guys in this pile may have some thick signs, so you may have like Aquarius, you may have Scorpio, you may have Leo and Taurus in this pile, okay? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Saturn especially. Saturn and Mercury. So if you're unsure, check your natal chart because it will tell you if you have any of those placements. I'm picking up also an energy here that, wow, and you guys also got the 4 of Pentacles that fell out, that you guys are a little bit, I don't want to say not great with money. Nobody's not great with money. Money is just a thing. But I feel like your relationship with money has gotten you into some really tough times that maybe could have been avoided if you had spent money a little bit wiser. And it comes from like this energy that's showing up from your root chakra. You may have dealt with poverty growing up. You may have dealt with abandonment wounds growing up. You may have been physically abused. You may have like tried to run away from home a few times. And safe to say, when you realized that you had the opportunity to make money as a teenager, as an adult, you took it. You joined the workforce pretty young, or if you didn't join the workforce young, you joined a job that makes you a lot of money, but it might not have been a job that made you very happy. So when you did get your money, you were spending it to make yourself happy or to fulfill maybe certain needs of yours, and you were not giving yourself the opportunity to experience financial freedom, financial abundance, moving towards a life where you don't have to constantly be working like a 9-to-5 job. You weren't trying to find new ways of making money. You were just going to your job, making money, spending it on whatever made you happy. And if you had enough for your bills, you had enough for your bills. That's what I'm picking up in this file, okay? Clear quartz, to begin, is a really, really strong crystal, okay? If you're working with your third eye, meditation, or anything like that, this crystal is one that is strongly advised that you have on hand. If you are living in environments with people who maybe don't have the best energy, this is a crystal that people recommend that you have. If you maybe struggle with a little bit of, energetic clearing or you tend to be prone to giving into negative energies, this is a crystal that's really like emphasized, like, hey, you need to have this crystal in your aura, in your environment, in your space, because it will help you to find the light, to choose the light, and to attract the light. I forgot to also say, if you like this video, you like the way that I film these videos, or you're just interested in keeping up with what happens on this channel, please don't be shy to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm putting some white light in my comment section, so if you want to talk about anything that you experience in this reading in a non-judgmental space, or just put your manifestations out there so that people can read them and wish you the best, then my comment section is a great place for you to go ahead and do that. I would love to see what you guys are up to, thinking about my readings, and any recommendations that you guys have going forward, okay? So, like I said, with the Four of Pentacles here, we've got some frugal energy, okay? So, like I said, this is showing up from your wounds here. We've also got a few other cards that jumped out. I've got a whole stack of them. And I'm going to try to read just from these cards because these are showing up in a really major way for me. I also have the feeling that maybe you have friends who don't buy you gifts, don't share things for you, or who don't have jobs, and so you're oftentimes buying things for people. You're the friend that's like, oh, don't worry, I'll cover the tab, or don't worry, I'll pay for your meal if one of your friends is short or doesn't have any money. And I'm seeing that this is something, though very noble, you should avoid doing for the particular friend that is coming to your mind when you think of that, because when you give your money to this environment and to this person or to this like relationship or something, this is not somebody who goes home then being grateful. This is somebody who has a habit of talking behind your back. This is somebody who has the habit of basically laughing at you in front of the group. This is somebody who is very, very comfortable when you're discomforted. They're like, well, it's really not my problem. Whereas you would probably be the friend who's quick to say, hey, that's my friend, don't say that. Or, don't be talking about my homie like that because I will come for you, So you maybe have some snakes in the bushes, and these snakes are all too happy to take your money. When you extend your hand to people who give you bad vibes, the universe is kind of saying, well, okay, why would I give you money, like more money to give towards shitty people? Because the more money you have, the more money you're going to spend on this person, because you're a generous person, and what goes around will come around. And eventually, because these people are not coming and giving you any help, when you're going to be in a situation where you're going to need to look to your social circle for support, no one's going to really be there. And the people who are there, if they are there, are not going to extend as much of a hand as they could. So, just a little piece of advice there for my pile number one. You guys may also be the pile who is in a long distance relationship, or you have recently broken up with your partner. Okay, this is just something that about like you not seeing this person quite a lot, but you having a desire to spoil this person, or you have a desire to be in a relationship with somebody that you can spend a lot of money on. I'm getting a strong vibe here that your partner is very much into the financial world. They're like very into security, okay? They like the material world. They like material girl things, material boy things, but not in terms of like jewelry and little knickknacks. They do appreciate that. Those are gifts. But if you want to really impress them, especially with how far and for how long you guys have been apart, they want to see you working to invest your money into things that are important for you. So a car, if you don't have a car, maybe an apartment that is not a shitty apartment if you live in a shitty apartment, okay? They want to see you invest your money into your health, your wellness, therapy, things like that, things that are important for the longevity of your relationship. Because if you don't have any of those things or any money to support those things, sooner or later, when you need that kind of stability in your life, when you need to be able to be using these kinds of opportunities, they're not going to be there for you to use, and it's going to cause strain on your relationship, okay? So just a heads up. Okay, let's also look at these cards. So let's look at sort of where you have been so far, what your relationship to money has been like so far. We have the Five of Cups over here in reverse. We have the Tower in the upright. And we have Temperance. My nose, I feel like blowing my nose or something. Okay. I also film all of these videos just like consecutively, so something here about you guys needing to be careful. Something's coming up for me that you guys need to be careful. There's a lot of like, I don't want to call it negative energy, but it's sort of like tread lightly, because a lot of the choices that you're making now are being watched, okay? And they're being watched by you, by your future you. So if you are the type of person who's like, when I'm older, when I'm 25, I want to have my first mortgage. So that means I need to get a job that gives me enough money to be able to afford a mortgage when I am that age. And let's say now you're 20, okay? And now let's say you spend most of your money every time you go to work on, drinks. You spend most of your money on, clothes, on shoes, on dinner dates with your friends. You send your partner money via Venmo and stuff like that. Like, the universe or the vibe is just like your future self coming through to say, I wonder how long you think it takes to save as much money as you need in order to achieve your dream. Because if your dream is like a $600,000 mortgage and you're making about $20,000 or like $15,000 a year, you have to factor in, wow, actually that's not good. Not in like a bad judgmental way. I don't want to use like money terms because everyone has different goals, but what I'm just saying is that if you have a really big goal that you want to achieve and you're not really putting any time or money towards it, that goal will get further and further away, and your life will get harder and harder, and the road to achieving that goal will become slimmer and slimmer and slimmer to the point where you will have to make really big sacrifices in order to get there. So if you are the type of person who wants to get a mortgage and you're partying and you're not putting money away for your mortgage, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to end up meeting people who need you to spend money in order for you to hang out with them, who need you to buy new clothes when you need to go out, who will not invite you places unless you look top notch. So you're spending money at Meyer, at David Jones, at all these big brands, these big corporations that are going to take your money weekly because you need new fits all the time. You need entries to the club. You need to get bottles for everybody. You need to get Ubers constantly. You need to get fast food when the night's done, or you need to get hotels so that you can party on the beach and shit. Like, that money is going to end up accumulating, and that could have been money that you put towards your future, but you were putting it towards these negative environments. And the reason this card is reversed, right, is because in the upright, this is somebody who's looking at their lost opportunities. So very soon you're going to realize that you're 24 or you're 23. 20 to 25 is not a very long time when all you're spending is your money. That's really it. If you're not putting anything or any of your energy anywhere else, that time is going to fly for you, okay? And sooner or later, you're not going to be like looking at the opportunity for a lost opportunity, but you're going to be looking at a lost opportunity here. The Tower card is really asking you to ask yourself, who do you think you owe this money to? Who do you think you're spending this money for? Because if you think that you're doing this for your happiness, but you're an unhappy person doing these things, or when you're in this situation or around these people or something like that, then you're not doing this for you. You're doing it because you believe that somebody is looking at you and saying, well, you're not good enough if you don't do it. So you need to really wonder who's in your circle right now and who's influencing you. Because I feel like the vibe is that you've always had influential people who are in your life, with Temperance energy coming through. This is Sagittarius energy, if I'm not mistaken. And Sagittarius is all about living the life, and then like reincarnation is Sagittarius energy. You live a life, you get to the end of your life, and you ask yourself if you're happy or not. And if you're not happy, then you die and you wake up again and you make the choice to be happy, or you repeat the same cycle, and that kills a Sagittarius soul. Like, they are so wild and free. They need to be dying multiple times in the one life in order to continue to learn and to grow and to do better every single time. So I feel like you've always had these influential people in your life who are always saying to you, like looking at you and going like, oh, are you gonna spend any money, fixed sign? Or because I'm getting like a lot of Scorpio energy, and I'm picking up a lot of Aquarius energy, and I'm picking up a lot of Taurus energy in here. Like, I'm not even kidding. So, you know, people are looking at you and they're saying, hey, are you gonna be able to, you know, foot the bill? Are you gonna be able to, you know, go to the expensive restaurant with us this weekend? Because, you know, there's somebody else who's waiting to go with us, and we don't mind changing you out with them. So I feel like you've always had people who've been like that, or people who need people who chip in, people who need people who are investing their future into the relationship with them, as opposed to people who will accommodate your financial situation. Say, you know what, we're 20, you want to get a mortgage by 25? Clap, clap. Let's get a picnic. Let's go to the grocery store and pick up a few groceries, cook a homemade meal, and then go to the beach and sit and, you know, eat, catch the train or something. Like, do you have those people in your life, and are those the people that are there for you? Because if you're always around people who want to spend money, or who are quick to do these like free dates, but then when you're on the date go, hey, you know, we should go to the bar over there and like buy those like $25 drinks that we don't need, then those are really not the right people that you want to have around you, because they're influencing you to experience FOMO and to want to give in. And I'm not even saying this to be mean, but these people know what they're doing. They're not like casually just going like, hey, do you want to buy these drinks? You can say no, it's okay. Or like, they have an aura that's like, you can say no, it's okay. No, these people will judge you. They will be upset at you if you don't go and if you don't pay, and you know that those are the kind of people that they are. You've conned yourself into believing that you're one of those people, and you've conned yourself into believing that being alone is worse than being with these people, when really, when you're with them, you're spending too much money. You know your dreams are passing you by. It's getting really harder and harder for you to get back on track, and these people don't care, because at least you're doing what it is that they want to do. It's also important to note that even though these people are the wrong people in your life, and that your real friends are getting their shit together, getting their mortgages so that you guys have something to talk about in common, getting money so that they can do their renovations because you're probably into home decor and shit like that, getting their money up so that they can get cars, so that they can travel and live a beautiful experience on this earth, as opposed to constantly going to the Met or whatever bar and club, whatever is popular in your city. Okay, your real friends are doing that. They're getting ready. But these people, they're not getting ready because they don't have the same desires as you. They don't have the same goals as you. Or they have people they can rely on when they're 30 saying, hey, can I have a little bit of money because I can't afford my life, or I want to get a mortgage now. But you don't have that opportunity, or you know that opportunity does not come easy to people who are like you. So what you need to decide is whether or not you're going to try for what the life that they already know they have access to, that you may not get access to, which will lead you down a road of isolation and loneliness once they decide that this party life is over for them, but too bad for you because you've got nowhere else to go. Okay. Ooh, I'm just feeling like, you know, like a part of your soul is so aware that this is a relationship you have with these people, and it's upsetting to me and it's upsetting to you because you don't want to be here anymore, and yet you are. Again, with the clear quartz, like, you need to cleanse your aura. You need to give yourself a moment of introspection, and you need to come up with a plan that gets you out of this situation, and you need to stick to it more than anything else, because this energy here is so like, I like my path, I'm stuck to my path, everything will work out for me. But if you don't do anything so that anything works out for you, yeah, things are going to work out for you, but not in the way that you like them. You won't have control over your future. You won't have control over your life. Somebody else will have control over your life. If you're the type of person who says, oh, I really, really want to get into the modeling industry, but you're going out every weekend and doing all these things. Yeah, sure, you might get into the modeling industry, but do you know what some of those models have to do to get in there? that might have to end up being your life. And if you're not comfortable with that because you want to be independent, you want to be proud of how you got there because you know what you own, then you're going to have to make some sacrifices to not end up on someone else's leash. That's what it is. And if you're a fixed sign, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, it's not going to work for you to be on somebody else's leash. It will kill your soul. So don't put yourself in that situation by avoiding what you need to do now, which is asking yourself, well, we're going to get into advice, but like, yeah, which is really asking yourself if these people are worth the money that you're spending on them, because it looks like it's just the same cycle repeating itself over and over and over again. And you're going to be very sad and lonely at the end of it when you haven't gotten out of it. Whew. Okay, Whew. Okay. I hope that makes sense, you guys. I had something else to say for you, but I think that's it. I'm picking up also there's an energy here where maybe you're waiting for somebody to do something for you. I'm just letting you know that opportunity is not going to be for you. That opportunity is not going to work out for you because, listen, if you're like waiting for a friend to offer you something, then it's very likely that that friend is going to say like, oh yeah, I would love to do that for you, but I can't because my cousin's coming down and she needs to get this position or this place at my place. Like, I'm sorry, but we talked about it 2 years ago, and you know what I'm saying? Like, these people are not reliable people. They're not reliable. So yeah, it's really sad. I'm sorry that you have to have that in your life. But again, your best friends are not here doing this to you, making you feel this kind of way. They're giving you freedom and fun. So yeah. Okay, so this was basically patterns that I've seen that you display. Let's pick some more cards here. We've got the 9 of Cups. We've got the 7 of Cups. There's a lot of cup energy, okay? Yeah, oh wow. And their last 2 cards are the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. There's a lot of cup energy here. So I feel like this transition, if you want to become happy with your finances, it's all about how you feel. You will attract money when you feel amazing and really good or confident in yourself or secure in what you're doing. When you believe in what you're what you can achieve. If you believe I'm going to get a mortgage by 25 and you're 20, you're going to start manifesting money just by being in that space where you're like, no, I believe in myself and I know it's going to happen for me. And I'm going to take my opportunities when they show up. But if you are like, oh, I believe in myself, but at the same time, it's kind of like lame that I have to wait with all these bum people who treat me like shit and make me feel bad, that I don't connect with and that exclude me and I'm lonely and isolated. Okay? If you are experiencing that, it's going to be a lot harder for money to come in because those people are supposedly your friends. Those people are the people you spend money on. Those people are who you have a hard time disconnecting from because apparently being lonely is worse than being with these people. And even if you're like, no, I will change. If your track record is not you changing, the 4 of Pentacles here, which is what I'm seeing for you, if your track record is not you changing, then there's no way that the universe is just going to like blindly trust you because you had multiple opportunities to prove to yourself that you could do it. So if you could just do it and be that bitch who was like, yeah, I did it the first time, I did it the second time, I did it the 3rd time, then you would have been that bitch. But you're not. You're like the one who's saying, I did it the 7th time, and that's just people learning from their mistakes. So now you're going through the chapter of having to learn from your mistakes before they become, you know, life-altering mistakes. You know, these are you having your manifestations, and this is people coming in and saying, no, well now, because you want that mortgage so bad, you're going to go look for a loan shark. You're going to go look for somebody who is going to charge you high interest rates on top of the mortgage that you now have to pay off. Like, child, whew, it's just going to be a fucking lot is what I'm saying to you, okay? Okay, so, like I said, we have the 9 of Cups over here. So your dreams, for starters, are not very difficult. I have the feeling that the reason that this has happened, yes, because of child wounds, but then there's also you being a very confident person. Fixed signs are very confident people. They believe in themselves because nobody else was there to believe in them. So at the end of the day, they recognize their power by being the energy that's like, I am powerful. And that's the most powerful energy out there. That's why fixed signs are fixed, because I don't need you to tell me anything and I'm still right, you know? I'm not wrong here. So I have a feeling that, you know, what you're achieving, what you want to achieve is a very attainable goal. And you maybe need to realize that goals are not attainable because other people have attained them. Goals are attainable because you perceive yourself attaining them. If you see yourself getting an A on a test, and every test that you've ever taken is you getting a C, it doesn't mean that, oh, I can get an A because other people get an A. It's I can get an A if I do the work to get an A. And an A is achievable. It doesn't matter if every single time that you've done a test you've gotten a C. If you want to get an A, you're going to get an A. So I just feel like maybe you need to also look at maybe the relationship that you have to your dream. Yes, it's an achievable dream because you can see that you need to do the work to get there, and it's going to work out because you're you, because you feel that it can work out, and because you actually perceive how easy it is to get there. Like, that's your intuition saying to you, like, hey, you're really smart. Like, if you see it, it's real. Like, why would I show you an illusion? If it was an illusion, you know it was an illusion, because that's what's coming through. So the fact that you don't see this as an illusion, you see it as completely attainable, is telling me that, yeah, it is an attainable thing. But if you only believe that your dream is attainable because if you only believe that your dream is attainable because you see other people attaining that dream, you need to ask yourself if that's your dream. Some of you guys, I'm picking up this energy that maybe you don't know if this is your dream with the 7 of Cups here. Maybe you feel like this dream has been imposed on you by other people. But the best way for you to figure that out is to ask your inner child. If your inner child felt like they could do this, or would be having fun doing this, then yeah, that's your dream. That's your dream. If you know, I never wanted to do that, I wanted to be a librarian, I don't know why you're telling me to be a model, like, then maybe reconsider your dream. But whatever you decide to do, it's going to work out for you because you have that ability inside of your soul. You just have to stop being insecure. And I feel strongly that the reason you feel insecure and the reason it's so easy for you to dodge doing the work to get this dream is because of these relationships that you have with people who do not hype you up to go and pursue your dreams, which is what friends are actually for. They're supposed to hype you up. And if your friends are not hyping you up, honestly, they're not your friends. And number 2, because of these child wounds, these masculine wounds, okay? The masculine energy that we have tells us to go and get shit done. If you're constantly lounging, you're constantly sleeping, you're constantly depressed, you have anxiety to go out of the house and do anything, then your wounds you're being triggered. You're being triggered. Your fight or flight's being triggered into the fright, into the freeze, and your masculine energy is being triggered. So my advice to you would be to be very aware of situations that show up that the first instinct is, I don't want to do anything. And I'm not talking about your response to stimuli, I don't want to do anything, but somebody triggering you, something triggering you that says, yeah, that's the reason I don't want to do something. Because to share from my personal experiences, when I was younger, I would always be like super lazy. I didn't want to do anything. I watched movies all the time and I ate snacks every day. That was literally my life for years. And I would always get to a point where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to break out of this cycle. I don't know how I'm going to become myself again. I don't know how I'm going to become renewed. I don't know how that's going to work. And then I would feel really, really depressed because I knew that the reason that was like this was because it was my fault. I was like this. I was lazy. I was not interested in actually creating a life for myself. I would rather be pathetic, sad in my parents' home, alone, eating snacks, watching movies. And then I would go downstairs sad, right? Thinking, oh, I'm such a burden, I'm such a failure. And then somebody would talk to me, and they would talk to me in the most outrageously disrespectful tone. And I would just be like, that's the reason I don't want to do shit. That right there, you. And even though it was like it wasn't even that deep to me, it was like the thought in my head, I just realized, you're killing my aura, you're killing my vibe, you're killing my spirit right now, and I just need to self-soothe. So you need to look at the environments where that feeling comes up, because that feeling is going to stop you from achieving your goals, and I'm not kidding. And you may be scared to walk away from these situations, but I want to tell you right now, if you walk away, everything will be better for you, because these 2 cards showed up in the upright, right? This is going and getting the dream, going and getting it. And this is basically being secure, knowing that it's freaking got. Not because it's still manifesting or anything, but because the paperwork has been put in, because the job transfer has happened, because you've spoken to the boss and they're like, yeah, you're actually doing great, you're on your way for a promotion, and we'll actually give you an advance pay. So, you know, if you want, we can put it in the bank that's allocated in Australia. We have like a super, so that's like a retirement fund or something, but you could have a different kind of fund for your job, and they're like, well, we'll put the money in there, and if you want that 600K in a couple years, then yeah, come back and we'll get that all out for you, you know? So when you leave this environment, this toxic space, new opportunities will come for you, because this is the only card aside from the other major arcanas that showed up that is not a cup. So it is a pentacle, and the pentacles are all about the physical world. If your physical relationships around you are causing you so much emotional stress to the point where you're like, I've got it covered, but you don't, everything is whack, you're not working as hard as you could, you're scared that you're not going to be able to manifest your dreams, everything is out of, you know, order, you feel disrespected, it's hard for you to get the strength to get up and do anything because that's what's waiting for you on the outside world, then make the decision in the now to get your opportunities sorted so that you can get that situation sorted. Whether it's you getting a new job, whether it's you cutting out those friends, whether it's you making sure that you're filling your day with so many things that don't make it possible for you to interact with those people, whatever it is, you need to go do that. And that's how you get your money up, you guys. Like I said, money is attracted to you guys with the Queen of Cups here. She doesn't really move. She sits on her throne. She's just very happy on her little island. She doesn't need to go and do all these things because energy just comes to her. She's perceptive of what's around her because it's attracted to her. So when her aura is really, really good, she's going to attract a lot of abundance without needing to do anything because the Knight has already set up her life such that she doesn't need to go around moving. She doesn't. She just needs to sit down. It's already done. She did the work before. Now she's a queen. She gets to sit down and things are coming to her. So if you really put yourself in a position to be this Knight and go make sure that all your opportunities are set up so that things can just flow in, your mental health is set up so that everything can just flow through your, like, your physical body, everything is, you know, in union, then yeah, you're going to end up being a lot happier, and making sure that your finances are booming, right? And you can then realize you really don't need these people, or thank God those people are already out of your life, because, you know, now you can have that money and spend it on things that are actually important for you, that are not toxic and abusive and hurtful. So hopefully this reading helped you guys. I love you a lot. I'm going to move on to the next pile, but put your dreams in the comments. Put your dream in the comments, you guys, and let people hype you up. Let people have good energy for you, because if they want good energy for their dreams, then, you know, they're going to give you good energy for your dreams, and that's all it's got to be. And so, yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll definitely make sure to see you guys in another video. Bye! Okay, pile number 2. If you guys picked the amethyst and the number 2 here, this is your reading. Okay, so I'm picking up that you guys are pretty intuitive people, but you may not be working on your spirituality right now, working to strengthen your connection to 5D energy, so like all love, all like light and shit. You may be exhausted. You may have gotten played recently by somebody, treated like shit by somebody recently. Somebody may have come for you recently over something that you didn't do, or like you got called out of your name or something. Basically what I'm saying is that somebody disrespected you and had no right to do that. Yeah, okay, wow. Okay, this showed up in pile number 1 as well. The 4 of Pentacles, and it was the first card to show up as well. Yeah, somebody disrespected you and they wanted to knock you off your high horse. That's what I feel. Oh my God, I'm getting so pissed off here. I'm getting peeved. Look at this, bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Swords, which is like stealing from you, basically mentally playing games with you, mentally wanting to rock you from your boat, rock you from your horse, get away with doing something, and if they don't get away with it because you call them out, then they want to start a fight with you because that's how they feel that you lose your power, you lose your sting, you lose your stability. If people are arguing with you, if you're fighting with people, if they're in your face or whatever, you stop being as powerful as you are when you're in peace, when you're in happiness, when you're in success. This could be family members I'm picking up. Wow, okay, family members I'm picking up really hard here. Knight of Pentacles over here. So yeah, when you're in peace, you're just doing your thing, you're just trying to like work on your mental health and be happy. There are people here who are like, fuck no, I'm gonna interrupt you, I'm gonna show up in your path, and you're just like, ready to chill, do nothing about it, but it's like getting under your skin, it's getting to you. I have a feeling that you guys have mastered being patient. What this card, y'all, it doesn't want to leave. It's just like, you know what, fuck you, like I want to treat you like shit, basically. This card is all about leaving, so now that's gone, you know. But it didn't want to leave. Some people don't want to leave. Some people, they just want to be negative as fucking spirit energies, whatever. Okay, little birds is what they are. Let's stop doing like that because that was stressing me out. Okay, I was getting upset. Like I'm saying, you guys are probably, you've mastered like peace and stuff. You mastered the art of holding your tongue. I feel like back in the day you were somebody who was like, no, I'm gonna let you have it. I picked up a little bit of physical abuse here, domestic violence here as well. So maybe somebody came at you physically, they tried to fight you. I'm picking up that this is probably somebody of the same sex. So maybe your mom, maybe your sister, maybe your brother, you know, maybe your twin. Hopefully it's not your partner, but it could have been your partner. Like again, I picked up domestic disputes that are not cordial or do not end cordially. Okay, it might have ended, you may have apologized, spoken to this person, everything's okay, but you just got a really bad feeling from this person and it's hard for you to shake it. And maybe this was a while ago, but this is affecting you and it's affecting how you go about making money, your confidence when you go out into the world to make money. And we're going to clear that with an energy right now. Basically what I want to come here and say first of all is that it's so easy to get here and be like, clear that energy, get that energy out. But you really need to understand the relationship that you have to this person, so much so that they are affecting you like this, okay? Yes, it's easy for someone to also be intuitive and to know how to push your buttons. But if it gets to the point where you cannot heal yourself, there's something else that's happening because you're a naturally capable person. Like, look at you got amethyst and you got number 2. Very spiritual energy, okay? So I'm just seeing, like, I feel like there's probably a reason why this person's able to get into your spiritual aura, why you're not in this energy where you're like unbothered or able to deflect energy or do something. It's because this person knows something about you, or you know something about this person, or this person has a specific relationship to you where you believe it's okay for them to treat you like this, to speak to you like, well, to treat you like that, to speak to you like that, to make you feel some type of way. Okay, we also pulled the Queen of Wands in the reverse here. So let's basically, I want to look at what's obviously happening that's affecting your finances. But before I even do that, I'm going to push these 2 down here. Before I even do that, I really want to look on the relationship you have with this person. So we have the 3 of Wands here in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Hierophant. Pronunciation is a matter of opinion. 8 of Swords here. So, okay, first of all, I'm picking up that this person might have laid their hands on you when you were younger and your body never released that trauma. And I feel like that person never released that trauma with the Ace of Cups in reverse here. That person never released that trauma because it wounded their inner child and their ego went defense mode activated here. So, for example, if you and this person are siblings, I know about the nose thing, don't tell me. I say it in all my videos. I feel like I'm going to just say it in all my videos because whenever I do tarot, my nose just starts to go cray-cray manene, and I'm just, I can't deal. I literally can't deal. Okay, whew. So yeah, if this person's your sibling and when you were younger, let's say this person, you're at the park with your parents are not looking, pushes you off the slide, like not down the slide, off the slide, so you go over the edge. And then this person's looking at you, you look at them, you start crying, this person goes fight or flight activated. So they start screaming too, and they're going, well, no, I didn't just push you for no reason. No, because you were not, you know, and they basically con themselves into thinking that you did anything wrong. With the Ace of Cups here, and this one and this one, there's a lack of authenticity here with the Hierophant in reverse coming from this person. And that's why they basically opened their mind to that. That was like their first trauma, or one of their first traumas, where they opened their mind to being in the wrong, and they knew that they were in the wrong. They knew. So they basically blamed you. Maybe your parents didn't do anything about it, or maybe your parents severely punished this person, or, you know, that person got very much a lot of flack. They basically got called out for what they did, and they played the victim in their own mind. They played the victim in their own mind, because this is all about mind, the mental realm, whether you can escape or not, you know. Shimmy out of this girl, take your blindfold off and walk away, but it's like, no, I'm trapped, I don't want to, I can't, I'm trapped. So this person was like, wow, okay, I can't believe this person did that to me. They really, they came for me, they made me feel horrible. Okay, well, now we have a rivalry, now we know who we are to each other. So this is very scary energy, because this person then went on for the rest of their life creating conflict with you, having unrest within their body, because they actually perceived that you had done something wrong to them that you had not done to them. Okay, and so they went on treating you like that, you know. If it was a parent, it could have been that something was broken, and they came home and they were like, wow, who did this? And maybe your sibling lied on you, and your parent was like, wow. And then your parent remembered, you know, a couple of days later, a week later, after beating the shit out of you, you know, they were like, oh, I'm pretty sure I left it on the edge of the table, and maybe the cat might have. No. My child's just irresponsible. They're just so stupid. I can't, you know, they don't want to admit their own play. And so what that creates is like this inability to, number one, spiritually ascend, and they become pissed off because they have this stagnated energy going everywhere in their life, because the one thing they need to do, which is unblock their third eye, see what they've done so that they can access new life, they don't want to do that. It's too hard for their heart, it's too hard for their sacral, it's too much pressure on their root chakra to admit they were wrong, and admit that they treated you like shit for years because they were wrong. So yeah, this person, that's a lot of energy. I'm just gonna take a second to pause, you guys, because yeah. Okay. So back to the present day. This person has decided to spin their ass around, show up at your door, and basically have a go at you, confront you, give you flack, give you something that you were not expecting. You were not expecting this at all. It showed up out of the blue, and now you're struggling because you're like, I can't believe I have to be around this person. I can't believe because of A, B, C, D, or whatever, E, F, G, this person's in my life. I just want to walk away. But then there's also the part of you that's like, I don't know why I get treated like shit. I don't know why I get hurt. I don't know why I'm always targeted when I'm trying my hardest. Maybe I shouldn't try my hardest anymore. Maybe I should just give up. Maybe this is all too hard for me. And I just want to let you know, from my heart to your heart, you are not giving up because you're a terrible person and because you've got nothing going for you and like it's obviously a sign that you suck. You feel like giving up because you're tired of being abused. And that's the harshest truth you're ever going to get, because it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like I'm tired of being abused. It feels like I am subjected to this life constantly and I'm over it. And you're not over this life. What you're over is being abused. You're over being around people who treat you like shit, that obviously have problems of their own and that they're just projecting on you. It's so clear as day. And you're tired that that person gets to get away with it because no one calls them out. No one has your back. Nobody cares. No one thinks it's a big deal. When really what they're coming for is your entire person, and they're wrong. And it's constant. It's constant. And it's bullying. When you have a clear idea of who you are because you worked very hard to create yourself, you understood that you used to be a terrible person, a bad person, a sad person, a mad person, and then you overcome those things and people keep saying to you, no, you're still that person. No, you still suck. No, you're never going to change. No, you need to wake up. No, you know, you're a piece of shit. I remember you're a piece of shit. I'm always going to know you're a piece of shit. Everyone's going to know you're a piece of shit. When that's playing in your head constantly, okay, it's abusive. And even if you know different, the fact that no one else in your space knows different makes it feel like the most isolating experience in the world. And it is. It is, because that's your world right now. You're not broadcasting yourself to however many fucking people right now. You're not doing that. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you have channels and stuff like that. But your inner world, your inner peace, the people who know you, if you're being abused in that sacred space, there really is no other safe space in the world for you to feel confident and comfortable in, because we all need some place to call home. And if our home is being intruded by someone who wants to make us feel like shit because they have problems with us that are their problems with them that they don't want to admit, then it becomes really fucking exhausting. Okay? I'm going to share one story for everybody, for every pile. So here's going to be your story. So growing up, I had a really hard relationship with one of my siblings, and I didn't understand why it was hard for a really long time. I didn't know why it was hard. I am the middle child, so my sibling wasn't somebody I grew up spending a lot of time with. I'm also the only girl in my family, like daughter, so I didn't spend a lot of time with my sibling, and yet whenever I did try to be around my sibling, I was like pushed the fuck out. I was mocked, I was put down, I was, treated like I was the most disgusting, vile thing on the earth. And when I would ask, like, why am I being treated like this doesn't make sense, it hurts my feelings, they were like, because that's exactly who you are. You're a disgusting piece of shit, get out of my face. Like, it was the worst. And so when I would talk to my parents, what my parents would do, because they didn't know any better, was like, okay, well, bring him over here and we're gonna yell at him, we're gonna berate him. And he would get even more upset, because it was like, wow. So what you did before, yeah, now you want to, okay. And I didn't even know what I had done before, so now it felt like I couldn't even go out and say, hey, I'm struggling here. Even if it's your parent, it could even just be that you live with your parent, you have no other means, you don't have like a financial secure net right now. That's what I'm seeing right now for most of you guys. So it's coming off parental to me, or spousal a little bit, but you may not have a way to make enough money and then move away from this person, or this person may get really strung out and upset and then start getting more and more volatile with you once you express that you want to move out, or express that you need a little bit of financial assistance, or express that things in the home could be better and you would love to work on it with them. So this energy just feels really fucking abusive in my opinion, and this is not somebody that you want to be setting yourself up to have in your life for long. You don't want to have this person in your life for fucking long. Okay, so okay. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. I'm just like, this person is so stubborn. This person is so fucking They're giving me, it's not even fixed energy. I'm not picking up on like fixed signs. What I'm picking up on is wounded, mutable energy, because this person just needs to ascend outside of their consciousness and then become themselves, become new again. But they don't want to do that. They're pissed. They're so pissed to the point where it's like, I don't need to grow anymore in this relationship. I don't need to change. I don't need to look for the other opinion, the other side of no, I don't care. I was hurt by who? We don't know, but I'm going to blame them. And that's what I'm going to do for the next 20 fucking odd years. So yeah, anyway, to end my story, because I want to keep going with your financial situation, you guys, my sibling, basically we got older and I started to experience really about like bad depression, because my relationship with the other members of my family was going downhill really, really quickly. And the relationship I had with school was going downhill because I was not doing really well when I thought I should have been doing really well. So I didn't have a safe space anymore, or at all. And my parents were very strict people. They were the type of people who were at the time were like, when we're going somewhere, you're coming with us. And if you don't want to come with us, we'll fight about it. And if we fight about it, you won't win. So might as well just get your ass in the car. That's what my relationship with my parents were like. And then because I would get older and be like, no, that's not right. I should have the rights that I deserve and the rights that I want to have here. And, I should be able to also be able to ask for these things, because it's not me asking for abuse. It's not me asking for anything that's outrageous. It's just me asking for my rights as a person, because I don't feel comfortable doing these things with you. My parents would not get even a chance to respond before my sibling would jump in and be like, why are you so fucking stupid? Why are you so annoying? Why are you so blah, 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 blah? And it just got to the point where I had to stop. I just shut down. I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't. So for years, I didn't do anything with my life. And I just went to work where I was making about $100 a week, $200 a week. And I just smoked pot. That was all I did. I would sneak out, go smoke pot for work, go smoke pot after school. Like, that was literally all I did. Bring pot to school, smoke pot at school. Like, that was my whole fucking life. And eventually, the only reason that my life changed was because I got kicked out of my house because I was smoking pot, and my parents didn't agree with that. But if I had never been caught, or that was my life, I would have been in that space for forever, because it was so hard for me to get up and to do anything with my life. When even walking down the stairs, somebody would look at me and just go, ugh, fuck off, like, just kill yourself, like, shut up. Like, being told, if you're gonna kill yourself, then do it, but do it when we're not at home, because we don't want to know about it. Like, that was my life for years, you guys, for years. So if you guys are in a situation where someone is doing that and you don't even understand why they're doing that, honestly, take that as a sign that you don't need to understand. That's just somebody being fucking abusive. They're being an asshole. They're being somebody who doesn't love you, somebody who doesn't want to learn to love you, and somebody who doesn't want to learn to love themselves enough to move on and start treating you with respect, because you were probably a youngin' when those things happened. And even if you were an adult, if you apologize and now you try to move with grace even more, they need to get to a point where they can accept that, you know what, they're doing the human thing. They fucked up and they're doing better. And that's more than a lot of human beings are doing, and you need to know that in your throat, your chest, everything. Okay, so the reason you're struggling right now with your finances, or wait, what I'm seeing with your financial situation right now, is that you really wanted to take your time to become who it is you wanted to become. You were in your family home is the main area that I'm seeing, or in your marriage, and you knew, okay, I have time now. I have security here. I have people who are working to maintain the rent, to pay the bills, to buy food. So I can work on my art. I can work on who I am. I can work on my fashion. I can work on my conversation skills, my social skills, my charisma, my confidence, and maybe then get a job that pays for certain equipment that I need to do this, or, you know, get a job that pays for me to move out, and then I'm able to be more independent and experience adulthood. And then, you know, you had a plan. You basically wanted to take things really slow with this Four of Pentacles energy here. I'm not seeing like negative energy coming with the Four of Pentacles. I'm just seeing you had a plan, and that's why it hurts a lot to experience this in the space that you're experiencing, because it's a constant reminder that the plan that you have isn't fucking, it's not working. It's not coming alive, because it's killing you to keep trying to maintain this plan, and you don't have a plan for anything else. You don't know where to go after this. Ooh. Okay, we also have the Queen of Wands here. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. When you're being abused, okay, or actually when you're happy, your happy energy, the energy that tells you I'm happy, I am happy, comes through your sacral. So first you feel I'm secure, and then it's I'm secure and I'm so happy. I'm happy because I'm secure. I'm happy because I'm loved. I'm happy because things are going my way. I'm just happy. So you're happy. And then that goes up your chakra, you experience the sense of self, like this is who I am. This feeling right here, these people right now, this is my life. This is what makes me happy. And then it travels up your heart chakra, you know, oh, I'm so accepted here, and I want to like learn to love other people. I just want to keep laughing and sharing with these people and learning about them. And if these people need anything from me, I'm here to help them and provide it for them. Goes through your throat, you start to laugh, you're expressing to people, I love you guys, you're so good, you're so great. Goes into your third eye is seeing the future with these people. You're planning different opportunities so that this vibe is like here, this love, it's here. And then your crown chakra tells you whether or not it's real, whether or not these people are abusive, or whether or not like abusive down the line, like, hey girl, I don't know, slow down, these people might not be your people, or this is your people, you found your people, this is love, this is respect, you deserve this, you've worked so hard for this. You know, when you experience a feeling of, oh, I'm being treated like shit here, and I'm being abused here, and I'm treated like I don't like this feeling at all, I don't like this feeling, that starts off in your root chakra. So first you feel this like pang in your chest, like, oh no, this is not good, this sucks, this is really, really bad. Then you experience your sacral experience, which is the feeling, I'm being treated like shit and it hurts, I'm being hurt here, I can't create here. That happy energy that you feel is the energy that allows you to perceive the future. It's an energy that allows you to perceive what you can achieve. It's an energy that allows you to perceive your life, what is possible for you, and then you can create it. When you're being treated like shit, what are you creating? What's happening? What are you creating? You're creating nothingness. Because once it gets into your other chakras, you're now feeling like this isn't who I am. I can't be myself here. I need to protect myself. I need to protect myself. That feeling of I have to be somebody protecting myself is immediately like a block, because you can't flow and be creative and open to all of opportunities when your main priority is to keep yourself safe. Because the only thing that will happen is that those visions that you have, you'll be saying to yourself, I can't do that right now because I'm not safe here. I can't do that right now because I don't have enough money to do that. I can't dream of those things right now because I'm just going to get sad that I'm here and not there. That's what's going to end up happening, and that's what's been happening with you guys. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is so abundant. She has so many ideas, so many creative projects that she wants to do. She's seen the future for her life, and she goes out and fucking gets it. When she's in reverse, it means that something's disrupting that energy flow. Something's disrupting the ease of being able to create with life, okay? This is very, very scary to me, you guys. Like, I don't like this energy for you at all. That's what's going on with your finances right now. It's making it hard for you to then, okay, let's get a few more cards because I only got those 2. Damn, so many cards are coming through. I feel like you guys are just so like really sweet people. You don't mean to like harm anybody. You don't mean to be rude to anybody. You don't mean to make anybody feel insecure or awkward or uncomfortable. But people sometimes prey on that innocence that you have, or on the fact that once upon a time you did make people feel like that, to the point where you end up rethinking all of the experiences where you've done that to people and where people think that you're a piece of shit. But the truth is, ignore that, because you're trying, and that's more than a lot of people on this planet are doing. A lot of people will just say, well, I might have done it, but I don't really care, and I'm not changing myself. And you know what? If they want to have a fight about it, they can come scrap up. A lot of people are like that. So the fact that you're not like that, and you want to change, and you want to do better for yourself, create better opportunities for you and people who love you, or people you're going to meet who love you, means that somebody who's preying on a part of you that's trying to do better, they're an evil fucking energy. They're evil, you guys. They're evil. An energy that won't leave you alone, that wants you to feel bad, is evil. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. Because even kids, when they're upset at you, they'll be naggy and upset, and then you say to them, hey, I'm really sorry, do you want to go get ice cream? And if you're still mad at me, you can tell me, or you can splash water in my face or something, but we'll get over it. And they're like, fine, but I get to pick the flavors. I get to pick them, and then everything is okay. An adult who won't even give you the opportunity to say that, or when you do extend that olive branch, they're like, yeah, sure, and then they basically like flamethrower your face after. You thought we were over it? No. Sick people. We've got the Hermit in reverse. Terrible fucking people. And they've got a long list of karma. Don't even fucking worry about it. You think that they don't have karma? You think that they're not going to get karma? To be that sick in your soul, something's got to be wrong with you. And because you're projecting, it's not like that comes from a place that, I love myself so much, now I'm going to go bully that person to filth. And then come back and say, I love myself. I'm sure they did that in the beginning, but it's going to get harder and harder. Ace of Pentacles in reverse to do that. You got 2 aces here. So look, the universe wants to say that this is happening for a reason. It is karmically related. You did get karma for something that you've done to somebody else, but you don't have to feel like a piece of shit because of it. Everyone went through some shit and everyone got karma for it, okay? This person's treating you like shit, they're going to get karma for it. What you can do is to boss up, is to acknowledge that, number one, your plan for peace and happiness and this safe space that's no longer safe isn't realistic. It's not real. So you have to come up with a new way to feel safe and comfortable. And like, that's what I'm picking up here a lot for your financial situation. How to improve your finances is basically to make yourself feel safe. Come up with a new plan. And I know you've been trying. I know it's been hard, and I know you don't like any plan that's alive, but you have to see it through a really healthy space, not an emotional space, because your emotions are compromised. You have to try harder because it's not coming naturally, okay? This is all about coming naturally. And the Hierophant is all about like spiritual energy, which is all about flow. It's all about being in peace. So both of these energies are in the reverse. They're not happening in an easy manner, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not happening. You just have to try a little bit harder. Even with the Hermit in reverse, this person goes on the journey in the dark. It's like lonely and it's sad, but you don't have to be in the dark anymore, because the light that's shining comes from this person's negativity. They're giving you a new opportunity for a new beginning without even realizing it. So what you have to do is start manifesting. Okay, well, what do I want? What makes me feel safe? Do you have a friend that you can go live with? Do you maybe need to start looking for a job and work, like paying, like giving yourself more money so that you can afford a better life of luxury? Maybe you need to start looking for new apartments, because it's giving living situation, it's giving your creative space too. Maybe you need to start putting a pause on how much you're focusing on creativity and really start to focus on your relationship to your mental health, you know, so that you're taking care of yourself. From experience, even though you're healing your mental health, if you're in an abusive situation, you're not going to heal fully. So my strongest advice to you guys is that you do find a new place to live. That's like the energy I'm getting with the Ace of Cups in reverse. You have to find a new place to live, something that's going to give you an emotional peace, okay? Then you need to start coming up with a way for you to create the life that you want. Everything is happening 10 times faster. So if you perceived you having the ability to do all these things in the home, you're going to have to start giving them to yourself. So instead of saying, now everybody's paying my bills, it's okay, I can work. No, you need to do that first. You need to pay your bills first. Then you can say, okay, now that I'm paying my bills, let me get a job, or let me spend my at-home time, you know, learning about my craft, learning about my artistic abilities, learning about these things, you know, or my bills are paid, I want to get more money or use the money that I have now to buy equipment for myself and use that equipment so I can start creating the way that I want to create. I'm picking up a lot of creative energy here because there's a lot of wands energy. There's a lot of major arcana energy. There's a lot of new opportunity energy here. You're a creative person. You're a creative soul. You were meant to be like that in this world. You were not meant to get a 9-to-5 job and never work on your music, to never work on your art, to never work on your you know, your writing, your directing, whatever it is that you want to do. You were meant to do something here. So yeah. So it basically looks at where your financial situation's at right now. It's just stagnated. That's what I'm picking up on, because both of these new opportunities, see how these like hands of spirit are giving you new opportunities. Here, take this, it might help. Here, take this, it'll help on your journey. These are both, we're in the reverse. So it's sort of like, it feels like no one's on your side and no one's really helping, or like you're alone, but you're not alone. These opportunities are there. You just have to work a little bit harder. And they will manifest. They will manifest with ease. They will manifest with light. They will manifest with happiness. And they will manifest 10 times stronger because you had to work for them. And that's a very powerful manifestation. Very powerful. You may have a lot of cardinal energy, Capricorn, Sagittarius. No. Why was I picking up Sagittarius? I was picking up on Sagittarius energy. So you may have mutable energy. You may have mutable energy in your chart in significant places. Your Mars placement, your Pluto placement, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Yeah, those placements. You may have mutable energy, Gemini, Libra, Virgo. Mutable or cardinal, sorry. Mutable, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I have any more messages for you guys. I actually don't. Let's pick 2 cards here. So yeah, some of you are maybe thinking of or have been working to improve their relationship with these people. Maybe these people are not going to be in your life for long, or they're sick or something, or they, you can just tell that their relationships are not very healthy and that they're very sad people. But let me tell you something. Instead of being mad at the people that they're mad at or being mad at their life circumstances, they're mad at you. They're and this is at the bottom of the deck. They're mad at you. This is like, I feel like this, even though it sucks, it's very healthy. It's just like, you're heartbroken, you're sad, it hurts, it happens. Like, people are treating you like shit. This is the natural emotion. For this to be in reverse next to this energy, I feel like it's denial. It's like, I don't care that my boyfriend's cheating on me. I'm gonna go beat up my sister today because she hurt me 10 years ago. Like, no, go deal with your boyfriend, you know? And you're like, well, she's my sister. I don't want her to be sad because I can tell that her relationship's going wrong. No, don't sit there. Don't give her the time of day. If she's happy to make you feel like shit, you walk away. That's what you got to do. Because when you extend your hand of kindness to the bad people, what you're giving is bad people an opportunity. And you don't know what they're going to do with that opportunity. They could go out into the world and treat more people like shit. They can go out into the world and harm people. They can go out into the world, start being sadistic because of the pain that they now feel about themselves, because the harsh reality of how they treated you hits them so hard that they're like, you know what? I don't want to heal anymore. I don't care. I don't want to acknowledge it. And I'm gonna go crash my car on the freeway. And you don't know what those people are going to do. So you need to stop giving your hand of kindness to people that you don't fucking know, really, because how bitter can you be? And that's a question you do not want to have answered. If they're bitter enough to come for you over something that was not fucking real, that may have been fucking real, but that really wasn't fucking real between the both of us, then yeah, you don't know how bitter that person can be, and you don't know how far they're going to go just to get revenge over something that never fucking happened. Everybody gets traumatized. Everybody gets hurt. It's what you do with that hurt. There are people who go on to do amazing things with the traumas that you could not even imagine going through. So if somebody went through something that, oh, I'm sorry, that happened to you, you get up on your horse and you fix it. You change your life and you get a better opportunity. And if you don't get a better opportunity, don't complain when your life is shit. And if their life is shit, you do not get them out of there, because you know why it's shit? Because they're treating you like shit. That's why. So you don't wait. You don't fucking wait for them. You go. You get yourself a new fucking place. You get yourself a new fucking job. You make sure that you are secure, because no one else is going to do it. And at the end of the day, if you're walking down them stairs every single day and they have somebody to beat up on, they're going to beat up on you until there's nothing left for you to beat up on. And if there's nothing left of you to beat up on, best believe there's nothing left in you to manifest a better life for you, because they took it all away by bullying you. People die of that, guys. Don't be like that. Don't let that happen to you. because this life was given to you. Somebody's treating you like shit, sure. Sure, it happened maybe because you got karma, or maybe it's because it needed to make you strong, so that when you see that happening to somebody else, you're going to put a stop to it. Because we need people who do that. And you need to have empathy for the people who are being bullied. Not join in with the bullies because you're having a bad day. You're going to know where you stand. You're going to stand with people. That's why it's happening. So you make sure that you get out. You make sure that you get your stuff ready. You get your situation sorted. You get your fucking money up. You get a job. I feel like I really need to say you need to get a job. A job that pays you at least enough money to afford your rent, to cover your bills, and to basically afford equipment for what you want to do. Those are the only things that matter. And maybe a gym membership. Y'all might do really good with the gym. Those 3 things, make a list, write them down, and get a job that pays for that weekly, because you deserve it. And then you get out. Whew. All right, sorry to get intense, my pal 3s, my pal 2s. I love you guys so much. If you're drawn to another reading, my best advice, don't go. Don't go. Take what you got here, because this will help you so much more than all this information and then getting overwhelmed with that information or something. But yeah, I love you. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that nobody is putting you in a position where you feel targeted. Make sure that nobody is letting you be a lesser version of yourself, because when you are happy and you are flowing, money is going to flow through you. If you've got all these blockages, it's not going to be able to fulfill you in certain places, because something else, your own self-respect, needs to do the job first. Okay? So, whew. If you like this reading, like, comment, subscribe. If you have an idea for a different reading, comment down below. If you have any ideas, if you have any like dreams, manifestations that you want to put down for some light energy, the comments are filled with light energy. So please go downstairs and comment. I'd love to see what you guys are up to, what you guys are manifesting. And I'm sure it's a great space for other people to feel confident enough to manifest for themselves the happiness that they deserve, the financial abundance that they deserve, that you deserve, that we all deserve, when we treat ourselves and other people with respect. I'll see you guys in another reading. Bye. Hi, my pile number 3s. If you guys have picked the beautiful, loving rose quartz energy, this reading is for you. We won't be going through all of these 72 cards today, so if you feel no, well, not if you feel, I'm just letting you know, sorry. Okay, so if you guys were drawn to more than one pile, but you picked this pile first, unless it doesn't fit, please stay for this pile, because I don't want you guys to get all of this information about how you can increase your financial life, get confused halfway through, get overwhelmed, realize it doesn't work, it's not working, it's not happening fast enough, when you could be really putting your energy towards something that first of all was catered for you. So really go towards the reading that you feel was best for you. And if it was this reading, then I'm so excited to read for you. If you like my video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm filling my comment section with light energy, so if you have any dreams or goals and manifestations that you want to talk about, get support for, that's down in the comments, where you can go do that and receive love from me, the people who are interested in giving you some good vibes so that your dreams can hopefully happen a lot faster. So yeah, or help you to feel positive about what you're manifesting, because you deserve happiness, you deserve love, you deserve support. Alrighty, let's start this reading off. First of all, I'm feeling like a lot of you guys are probably have some like masculine wounds. But you guys are so sweet. I'm just picking up this like sweet energy from you guys. Like, I just want to like take you guys out on the water, go for a picnic or something. I just breathe, you know, remind you guys that life is okay, everything's okay, you know. I feel like you guys take care of people emotionally a lot. You don't you're like the mom friend or the dad friend of the group. Like you're there for everybody. And sometimes it may feel like nobody's really there for you. Or you've just been that person and now you're on the journey of being alone. Yeah. You really like gave people chances. You let people get away with things maybe. But those people ended up turning around and like stabbing you in the back and treating you like shit or something, making it hard for you. I just feel like, but life feels better now. Life feels better now. I got that vibe from you guys, or you guys are having a positive attitude towards life, or, you know, yeah, I just feel like you guys have been through a lot of stuff, and a lot of it was probably you being naive to people's real intentions, or it was you being really open to people that you probably shouldn't have been around in hindsight, you know? I gave everybody one story, but I'm gonna give you guys yours at the very start of your reading because I just feel like it applies here. I used to always, so I wasn't very nice growing up. I wasn't very nice when I was in high school. I was in defense mode constant, like fight or flight, always. Like you couldn't look at me without me feeling some type of way. I was always on high alert. When I got out of high school, I started to really prioritize my feminine energy and healing myself because I had a lot of wounds from my maternal figure. And when I started to do that, I started to realize that I was really carrying like a burden, and that burden was masculinity as a feminine. You know, I needed to tone it down and realize that it was my job to make myself safe, and once I was safe, I could calm down. I could stop being so angry and upset and traumatized, you know? So I started to take care of my feminine energy. I started to take care of me. Anyway, fast forward, I started to realize that as a feminine, I can attract quite a lot of abundance, or I can attract a lot of stuff that I'm asking for, you know, like, and I wasn't manifesting money. I wasn't manifesting health, longevity, all of those things. No, I was like, I want to manifest fun. I want to manifest carelessness. I want to manifest being around people who get my let's just rage until dawn, like who cares, like life's not real kind of energy. And I'm gonna tell you something, the people who are doing their yoni steams and who are doing their morning yoga and who are going for their beautiful brisk morning walks are not raging until dawn. Those are not the people who are up until dawn, devil energy, right? So these people who are doing this, who are playing these games, who are dabbling with stuff that they shouldn't be dabbling with, are people who are low vibrational. And I started to grow spiritually and realize, okay, I don't really want to be here anymore because everyone's a bit cray-cray, and you know, like, I don't know, maybe I was just doing that because I was hurt about stuff, you know? So I was like, let me start to walk away. And I had a really hard time walking away because I would look at these people and I was like, but Ropa, they're not the Magick Mage. These people are not, they're not like evil. They're just people who've been hurt. They're just people who want friends, who want people who are not leaving them alone, who have people who will be there, you know, party with them, talk with them, communicate with them, love on them. And so I guilted myself for walking away from people that I knew were bad for me. Luckily for me, I didn't get a lot of karma for that, or the karma I did receive came from a place of like learning, as opposed to like, you need to experience the pain that was like that you put out there. It was more like, you need to understand why it's important for you to not have low self-esteem when you're doing what's best for you, because that will cause masculine wounds later on. So I learned, but I feel like you guys are the type of people who, when you walked into relationships with people, you knew these are people I shouldn't be around, or you knew at certain intervals, I need to walk away here because this is going to get really bad really fast, or this is going to get dangerous. Like, I've been in cars with people who are drink driving. I've been with people who are, you know, like stealing. I've been with people who are, you know, well, actually that's pretty much the bulk of it, but but like over binge drinking, public intoxication, public defacing property, stuff like that. Like that was what I was doing. That was what I was doing. Baby, I'm just gonna let my cat in because she's gonna get sad. Come here, baby. This is my cat. Hi. call her Mrs. P, but her name's just Panda. Alrighty, so like I said, you guys are probably those people who, you know, just didn't walk away when it was time to walk away, I'm feeling. And now that you have walked away, I think that there's a lot of residual scarring left, or just a lot of positivity that's coming from I know better, as opposed to I really want to be positive and happy, you know? So your life circumstances at the moment maybe a bit hard. Without getting any cards, you're like what you're dealing with right now may be a bit hard. It's not harsh and traumatic and but it's harsh. It's harsh. It hurts. It sucks. You may have been drawn to pile number 2, but if you're here for a reason. So you know what? You're here for a reason. If you click on here, you're here for a reason. Trust me. Just trust me. Okay? Ooh. But yeah, do what's best for you. Trust your intuition before you trust me, God. But okay. So anyway. And she's gone. She's gone. Stop, baby. You guys may have people who are trying to come back into your life, or you may feel vibes of like, maybe I should just stop being positive and go back to this like world I used to live in. Or you feel this energy that's like, I don't know where it's coming from, but this world is creeping up on me and my past is creeping up on me and I don't like it. Okay, I'm just gonna go put her to bed. I'm so sorry. Baby. You know, I always think to myself, cats are like wild animals. Like, is anybody else thinking like we're domestic, they've domesticated, You haven't domesticated shit. You've just bred out certain characteristics, but that is still a feral wild animal. Sometimes I think about that and I just wonder, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is crazy. Okay. So anyways, let's keep talking. So I'm just gonna start to read on your energy. I did that in pile 2 too. I just want to read on your energy because I just like, I don't know, but something's bothering me in this pile. You guys feel like you're these horrible people, just straight off the bat. You feel like you're just these terrible people, like, oh, I overcame the trenches, but I am one of the like the bad seeds that must repress my true personality. Like, that's what I'm picking up here. And it's just like, what would your some of you don't even talk to your inner child or connect to like your innocence anymore. You just don't think you're innocent or go there anymore, because if your inner child saw you, they would be like, you're evil, you're what my mom told me to stay away from. But children are very perceptive. They just, you know, stare and have thoughts and feelings and intuition happening. And I feel like if your inner child saw you, they would just be like, what happened? Like, are you okay? Like, not like, what happened to you? But more like, hey, like, are you okay? I really like vanilla ice cream. Should we go get ice cream? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're crying or something's wrong. Like, you know, the birds are cawing. I'm picking up Scorpio energy straight up. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, tapping. Wow, 9 of Swords. I was seeing this fucking card. I was seeing this. I said Scorpio energy because I was like, there's some mystical darkness happening here. And we don't hate on it. We don't hate on it, but it is what it is. We've got the Chariot as well. Yeah, so, okay. A lot of you guys need to do some shadow work. I feel like the reason money is not coming into your lives and you're struggling with money right now is because you need to do some shadow work. And maybe you've done shadow work before, you don't want to do shadow work, you don't know what that is, but shadow work is basically doing some introspective work. And I'm going to show you guys actually what I'm talking about when I say you need to do some shadow work. I'm just going to show you an example, but let's say I struggled with, like walking away from toxic circles, okay? So what you would basically do, just as a rough guide, is to say, what did I do that could be perceived as bad for me? / was bad for me. Like, what did I do that was bad for me? I've got a lot of Gemini in my chart, so I don't really stick to what's real, so perceived. But if you're very like, it was bad, it was fucked up, you say, what did I do that was bad for me? You add in a journal, okay? And then you make a list. You make a list of everything that you've done to yourself or every situation you've been in that was not good for you. And then you ask yourself, why were you in that situation? If you don't know, that's okay. For some of those things, you'll know why. If you don't know why you're in that situation, you need to ask yourself, how did you feel when you were in that situation? And mostly you'll say, trying to be cool or sad or vulnerable, or like I was hiding my emotions, or like I wanted to fit in, FOMO, you know, those kinds of things. Once you realize that you did something because you were sad, like this is a lot of emotional trauma that you're talking about. People do this on their deathbeds. They're like, I lost the love of my life because I couldn't accept that it was okay that I was gay. And I just was so bad and bitter. And I treated your mom like shit because this is introspection. But they're dying. They're like, I could have lived a good life and I'm dying. You don't want to be that person. You think you've gone through and done all these horrible shit. You don't know what people were doing back in the 50s. You don't know what people were doing back in the fucking 20s. So you think you're bad, don't fucking worry about it, okay? You just have to do better. That's the T. So what did I do that was bad for me? Why did I do what was bad for me? How did I feel when I did what was bad for me? How was I treated after I did what was bad for me? Maybe your friends cheered you on and applauded you. Maybe you went home and you felt like you were on a fucking high. Everything was perfect, whatever. Maybe your parents yelled at you. You were degraded. You were treated like shit. You went to jail. I don't know. You were treated like a criminal. Then you say, what happened after what I did what was bad for me? What happened after, right? And then you basically have to ask yourself, do I want to do that thing again? And if your answer is no, which is what it will be, you have to ask yourself, why? And that's the deep part of shadow work. Why don't you want to do it again? Why don't you want to go hang out with those people? Because all of them were leering at me and making sexual comments towards me, and I never felt safe to go to sleep around them. And if that's a circle that I'm surrounded with constantly when I'm around people that I'm trying to love, when I'm being a really good person, then I'm just as isolated as I was when I was in high school, being around people who were academics and didn't give a shit about me then. Like, I just realized I'm a lonely fucking person, and if I was ever to go back, I would have been going back because I'm just lonely, not because I have any real fucking connection to this experience. Like, I didn't like anybody there, and if I was going back, it would be because I don't fucking like myself, because clearly I'm so desperate for attention and love, I can't go a few months without being around those people. Like, you need to ask yourself those questions. I think a lot of people are scared to do shadow work because either they realize, A, I'm going to be disappointed in myself and very fucking ashamed of myself and really fucking sad with myself and, you know, upset that I went back 2, 3, 5 fucking whatever times. Or people realize I'm not going to care. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to care. I did that for me. I had my fucking back. No one else no one else treated me like I was fucking anything. So of course I did that. Of course I went. Of course I looked for that comfort, those soothers and stuff like that. But once you start to get a little bit more comfortable talking to yourself, you're going to start to ask yourself questions out of the blue. Like, this just happens because your mind is expanding. Like, when you have anxiety, you think about a million things without realizing you're thinking about a million things. Your mind's going to expand and you're going to start thinking about heaps of things, and they're going to be different. They're not going to be the anxious thoughts you have because you're so burdened by your trauma. You're going to be free to go exploring inside of your mind. This guy's on a chariot. He's being pulled by these two, like, sphinxes, which are like these wise spiritual fucking, or like these beings that know more, I guess, than humans do. So he's being pulled into knowledge, basically, pulled into anxiety and darkness. And this happens when you ask yourself those questions I mentioned. And you will get to a point where you start to ask yourself, you know, like, okay, but before I make these choices, why did I make these choices? That's a really good one. Why did I make those choices? And maybe you won't know right away, but those questions will start to show up, and you'll realize, because my mom or my dad was like being a dick to me and I just needed to find a release. You'll find that it goes back into your childhood. And when it gets there, that's when you'll be able to realize that, damn, my whole experience in this life is because of my parents, is because of my upbringing, is because of what I endured in silence in childhood. Yeah. And you're going to realize that you are not a bad person for having your back. Even if you're doing shadow work and you're like, I am going to be so pissed off because none of it matters. I don't care that I did those things. If you care that it hurt you, that's the first thing. Because once you get to the bottom, you're going to realize, damn, I did have my own back. I did do what I needed to do, but I don't want to do that anymore because I can tell that I'm putting that person, that child who was just trying to cope, in shitty situations. You're going to have self-awareness. That's what self-awareness is. I am not that child. I am the byproduct of everything that they went through. And I'm a lie because I'm not really this person who enjoyed that life or who wanted to do that. I'm just the person who was trying so hard to fit in or to not feel the shitty emotions I felt when I was in XYZ situation. And you're going to realize that you're not a bad person because everybody has that exact same experience. Everybody. Some people just don't wake up to it because they think it's too hard to do the shadow work, because that shame, that anger, that fear is just so strong, and you can't live in that because it's not that bad. Once you realize you're just a kid who is trying, it's not that fucking bad. Okay? But it's important that you do shadow work because, you guys, it's blocking your blessings. Your mind is so full of anxiety. It's like not even a joke. With the Nine of Swords being the first card that you pull, yes, you want freedom. Yes, you've worked so that you're more stable, or you've cut out certain things that you used to do that aren't good for you, but your mind is still not okay. Ooh. To do shadow work, just get a journal, get a pen, get some pencils, coloring pencils, whatever, and do it sober. I'm so serious. It won't work if you're under the influence. It won't work. I used to be like, okay, time for shadow work when I was an alcoholic. Pour myself a nice glass of red. Might as well bring the bottle. You know, you never know when you're gonna finish it. Let me get my cigarettes ready. When I was addicted to nicotine, then I would be like, okay, so what's my shoes? They're in my face. They're staring at me. But you can't work through that stuff if you're under the influence, because it's all connected. And if you can't even be sober to talk to yourself, to talk to your inner child, it's not gonna work. So you need to be sober to do that. Some of you guys may have struggled with addiction, sex addictions I'm hearing as well. Some of you guys, definitely sex addictions I'm hearing. That's a thing. So, okay, a lot of you guys are paying for subscriptions to things like OnlyFans, paying for things like Pornhub Premium, escorts, whatever. Like, you guys are paying for that stuff. Maybe you're part of that life, you're doing the escorting and prostitution, but no judgment on either side of wherever you stand with that, what I'm saying, but there's an addiction here. You're spending a lot of money. You're giving a lot of money to people who look very beautiful. You're giving a lot of your time towards people who have a talent, a skill, or something that you don't feel like you're very confident in your ability to do. And you may have relationships with people, be in a long-term relationship as well, and you may be saying to somebody, well, yeah, you may be saying to somebody, sorry, my brain, I'm just long-term or long distance or like marriage, something like that. But you may just be saying like, oh no, I'm so good, I can do all these things, but really you're struggling. Like if it's a sex addiction, you may feel like when you're with your partner, you're like, oh, I'm maybe not as well endowed, I may not be as good for them, I may not be the experience that they really want to have, they might have better elsewhere. So you go in your spare time to like watch porn or talk to girls online or do things like that because you're very insecure around your partner and what they are bringing to the table. Or your marriage, you may just feel like you can't communicate with your partner, like where your stress is at from work or your experiences, so you go and look for comfort in other people instead of being intimate and actually vulnerable with somebody who cares about you, who genuinely cares about you. The difference between people online and people who are escorting and doing these things is that they don't really care for you. They don't really care. They can say that they care for you, but if your relationship is built on a financial agreement, they don't really care. And if your relationship hasn't been built over long periods of time, they don't really care. If you met and you're so compatible, you guys spend all your time together, doesn't really matter. It's not real because they are there for not you, but what you were offering. Whereas that person that you met when you had a great connection with first off, when you were meeting them, they were there for you. So the vibration immediately will always be different. And you may prefer one over the other, but you need to be very honest about what the relationship is and what you prefer about that relationship, because you're lying to yourself here. Your finances are going to things that they cannot go to. Like, in order for you to be financially abundant, it's just not working. Be right back. I don't want to get mad at you guys in this pile because I feel like you guys are really sensitive people and you may be new to this life of improving yourself and taking care of yourself. So I don't want to get mad at you. I don't want to make you feel like you're doing a really bad job, but I'm very honest and very serious because where my life was before, it was in fucking shambles, you guys. It was horrible. And yes, I had a reason for why it was bad. And yes, I had trauma for why it was bad. And I had repeated offended traumas and trauma givers or abusers, but for where my personal accountability was, shambles, you guys, shambles. So if you're anywhere near where I was, I gotta be real with you. And even if you're not, I need to be honest about how serious it can get when you neglect to take care of yourself and be honest with yourself about what's really going on in your world. So let's actually look at where your finances currently are, you guys. Your reading is going to be a little bit longer, but that's okay. I just feel like talking to you guys, loving on you guys, making y'all feel good and accepted. Some of you guys need to take care of your health. I'm picking that up. Rose quartz energy always tells me, like, please take care of your health. I always feel that. There's so much love inside of your soul for who you are. You pick the rose quartz. I mean, of course, yes, you've been through a lot, but I feel like the experiences of people treating you like shit woke you up to like, hey, I really deserve more. And even if you have times where you're looking out, pick this card as well, the Three of Wands, where you're looking out and you're like, damn, maybe I had it all back then, or like, I really have nothing here, or like, I really left that life for dust here. No, you didn't. You left that life because you were being abused, and maybe it wasn't the abuse that we see on TV, but it was the abuse that is people doing shit behind your back and getting away with it, people talking about you, making you feel like shit, not encouraging you to become a better person, and you were doing that for them. You were hyping them up. You were there for them people, and they were not there for you. They were not your equals, and that's why you fucking left. And it's so interesting because you got the Three of Wands and you got the Six of Wands. So these cards, like, they render down, this card renders down to this card. So these are equals. These are fucking equals. You left because they were not your equals and you went to go find your equals. That's why he's reminiscing, but he's not there experiencing again. He's just in the experience. Okay? The Six of Wands is giving me that you do want a lot for yourself, but I feel like you're going really, really quickly to avoid doing the work. So you're spiritual bypassing. We've got the High Priestess, which is a spiritual card, and we've got the Six of Cups, which is about manifestations, which is another spiritual card. So I do definitely feel like you guys are spiritually bypassing. You're like, okay, so now that I got out of there and I took a little bit of time to, recover from, my addictions or my binge drinking or whatever, I'm now going to start applying for my screenplay that I wrote for many Netflix shows. And I'm going to start going to a bunch of live events and just handing them out to people because, now I can be sober enough to do my work. No, you can't do that. What's going on right now is that you need to take some time to really create the life you want in your mind. Because if you were to go there, give your screenplay to everybody, and everyone's giving you money and everyone's showering you in praise and happiness, you're going to fall into the illusion delusion that you fell into in the first place, which is like, oh, these people are my friends. Of course they're my friends. They're in Hollywood. They have money. They're not these broke people pushing me to do broke people things. Of course they want me. And you're going to experience a whole different realm of people who don't give a shit about you. And it's going to hurt even more because it's in your dream career. So you need to take a little bit of time and really perceive what peace is. This feels like a really big thing. I have a feeling that you guys are overwhelmed by how much work you really have to do. You guys are giving me very intuitive energy through your gut, as opposed to your third eye or through spirituality. I don't feel like you're the type of person who sat and meditated or did these things. I feel like you're probably somebody who woke up because they either, like, they walked away realizing what they realized and that's their intuition speaking to them, or they basically had experiences with people who lied and cheated them, and then they got their evidence back and they were like, okay, well, you're obviously a fucking liar. Like, you saw the way that the world works, and now you're kind of afraid of taking a wrong step, so you're just like manifesting the full extent of your dreams. Just for the record, the reason the universe pushed you out of that circumstance was so that you could go and like achieve your dream. They like, look, this person's on a horse. That's achievement. That's going and getting it done. So the universe was like, no, don't get it twisted. We want you to go and do that. We want you to start creating and living and having many, many dreams that you will make a reality. But we don't want you going out and doing that right now, because you need to recover. You need to start taking better care of yourself, because you weren't doing that for a long time. If you were in that life or in that fast game, doing all that back in the day, not taking care of yourself, being really into porn, all that stuff, like, the universe gonna, all that stuff, my mom's like next door. But no, if you were really into porn and stuff like that, and you were not taking care of yourself, not managing your money, doing all those things, and you realize, damn, I wasted a lot of time doing that, you have to really perceive how much time it's gonna take for you to come off of that trauma, you know? Because when you're a kid and you're being abused, or you're being treated like shit, or you're not unhappy, you don't have a happy home, what happens is you spend years going and experiencing that same thought over and over and over again. That's what happens. You know, when I was getting beat, I would go hang out with my friends and I have a great time with my friends. But the minute I was not with them, I was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to get beat. I'm going to go home and I'm going to get beat. Even when I wasn't getting beat, even when my parents weren't home for like an extended period of time, I'd just be like, I'm going to walk into the house and I'm going to get beat. That's what's going to happen. So you're kind of like having those thoughts, those like emotions that are coming down with the Nine of Swords, and you need to just sit with them. You need to sit with them, because when it's time for things to go fast, it's going to go fast. That's going to happen regardless, but it doesn't need to go fast right now, when what you could be doing is giving yourself a little bit of time for peace. Because when you do that for yourself, you're going to be able to attract what you want in a better place. You're going to know what you're looking out for in people. You're not going to be running on a high. You're going to be running on, this is my life. This is the life I created for myself because I walked away from shittiness, and I'm not going to choose shittiness again. You can go into it now and say, I'm not going to choose shitty. I'm not going to choose shitty. But you may find you're having anxiety, you're having stress, you're having hormonal imbalances, you're having depression, when it's the happiest time of your life. So if you take time to really work through your emotions, talk about your emotions with yourself or with a therapist. I recommend a therapist. If you're really, really, really overwhelmed about doing the work by yourself and talking to yourself about this alone, go see a therapist. Work to be able to finance a therapist, because that will help. And that will ease these feelings that you have, and make you realize that this is just Earth. This is just Earth. It's nothing creepy. It's nothing too big. It's nothing, it's just Earth, where you go do things that are fun. You make money as an adult to be able to afford to do more things that are fun, and you meet people who are fun, and that's love and life, and that's it. That's the experience. And there's no need for drama or chaos or pain when you've worked so hard to overcome being in those situations and attracting those people and putting yourself in that situation. Shadow work's going to really ask you so many questions, and it's going to ask you, like, how did I attract these people? What was I putting out into my life, into the world, asking the universe, asking myself for, or what was my attitude like? Who was I trying to attract? And then you can work on letting go of those personality traits that you conned yourself into believing you needed in order to be cool or safe or popular or attract the right people, because now you know that those personality traits attracted the wrong person. Okay, so you can add that to the list. What was I doing that got me into this situation that was bad for me, right? We talked about that. So, okay. So, that's where let's look at where your finances are. I don't know if I even got into that. So let's see. So basically you got the 7 of Cups. Your finances are basically pretty okay. I'm actually saying you don't have any like hard, like you're not in debt. You're not, you know, going through too much. If you do owe money to somebody, I feel like it's money to the government and not to like somebody who's your equal on this earth. So, well, the government should be your equal, but because we put them on a standard, on a pedestal in our society, they are elevated above us. So it's not a bad vibration to owe the government money, but at least you're not owing like your neighbor money or like an old friend money or shit like that. Like your finances are in a pretty good position here. I feel like you do even have money to spend on a few things, which is really, really nice. You may be struggling maybe with your sobriety at the moment, struggling to not spend that extra money on your addiction. But what I would put that money towards, if you're not putting it towards therapy, is to put it towards therapy. That's the first thing. So write that down. Get a paper, get a pen, get on your notes and I'm going to write this down for you, and actually you can take a screenshot. Extra money. I would recommend putting that extra money towards therapy, like I said. Number 2, I would put that extra money towards a gym membership, okay? That's close to your home, because so that way you can just walk there, walk home. Gym is going to reconnect you to your body. And number 3, I think that's about what you need. That's about therapy and gym. I'm not joking. I'm not even joking. I used to gym when I was in high school, and it was the worst experience of my fucking life, to the point where when I was an adult, I was like, I'm not gymming. But then when I got sober and I needed things to do with my time, I was like, okay, how about we do some home exercises? And that was the best thing for me. Just propping up my camera. You don't have to do this, but I had body insecurities as well. So this helped me to just see that, hey, you're just a human. You're just like normal. Like it's okay. Like there's no one judging you. It's your phone. It was the most jarring thing to see the videos on my phone of me doing like a little leg fucking thing. But you know what? I did it and I felt better every single day because that was me. And yeah, I felt like a fat piece of shit. But you know what? I was fat doing them stretches. So it was like I wasn't having a disconnect in my brain. I just knew I want to keep working out so that I can actually achieve the body that I want now. I see what I'm working with. I see what my reality is. When you're sober, I think reality can be really jarring at first, which is why I recommend therapy. Somebody will ground you, but as you work to take care of yourself, to maintain your relationship to yourself, you're going to realize that, oh, it's just reality. It's just the real world. It's okay. I was made to feel like shit because of XYZ. These people made me feel like I needed to be skinny. I made myself feel like I needed to be skinny. I made myself feel like I needed to be this, that fit into this category. But now that I'm out of that, I can really be myself. So it's a very blessed energy to be sober, and it's a really blessed energy to walk away from people who cause us harm. Do you see that? Whew. So yeah. Okay, we also have the 10 of Wands here. So I have a feeling that you guys are not really motivated to go and get like a better job than the job that you have right now. Like it affords the life that you can live to be safe and have a roof over your head and food in your belly. So I would recommend to not go get a job at that case, because why would you do something that's just going to stress you out? Like be your most stress-free self. That's my biggest recommendation for you. I broke my sobriety after I got sober multiple times. And the reason I did is because there was always a new stress that was being introduced into my life every single time I was being stressed out. So I just went back to substances. If you give yourself a chance to have the most stress-free life, you'll be so happy. You'll be so fucking happy. So yeah, if it's gonna stress you out, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. And if you relapse and you remember this video, it's probably because there was a stressor in your life. There you go. So stress-free life is the way to go. Okay? Good. Whew. Okay. Lastly, where your finances are currently at. We have the Page of Swords here. So I think it's great that you have ideas. You used to have ideas when you were a kid about what you want to do, and now you have ideas like now about what you want to do. The best way for you to choose what's the best thing for you to go and do is to think about what you were like when you were a kid, when you were in like a safe space with yourself, and the things that you imagined yourself doing. Maybe you said, I wanted to be an astronaut, and then you got older and said, I'm not studying to do astronomy and that. I'm not doing that. So you say, I don't want to be an astronaut anymore. But I did want to work with, you know, like space and shit. I don't know. So maybe I don't know that many space jobs. Okay, let's reel it in. So basically, I'll give you an example because I don't really know what kids are thinking about. People always say that kids are thinking about astronauts and shit. I'm like, what kids do you know that are thinking about that? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're putting that on us. Like, who wanted to be if you did, that's chill, but I don't know. I never fucking wanted to be. I never did. This is what I was doing when I was a kid. I would go get mud and sticks and dirt and anything I could find, crumbs, and I would put them in a little vial and I would shake them around and I'd have potions, and I basically ran a little potion store and nobody bought from me. That's fine. It was dirt and mud and shit. Nobody gave a shit that I was doing that either. That was not fine because it was cool as fuck. But I look back now and I'm like, oh, I like to like create. I like to make things, sell things to people, give things to people that are helping them. So what do? I start a store. I start selling things. I do tarot, which is helping people, you know. I basically, yeah, I just do that, you know. I got other jobs working for the man, big companies working for the man. But when I was working there, I was like, it was so easy for me to be feeling like shit because I was not creating things and giving them from my creative space. It was like selling potions that somebody else made. It was just killing me. So look at what you were doing as a kid and then try to figure out where those similarities sort of show up into what you want to do now, because that will be a path that is really, really helpful to you. If not forever, then definitely at first when you're becoming really ambitious. So, and money will flow towards that. If you're thinking about your inner child, I'm going to tell you so right now. If you're thinking about your innocent kid, the kid that's in you that was really innocent, that was hurt, and that now you can give money to and like help live a good life, then money will come into your life always for that person. Always. So, okay. Okay, so that was where your finances are currently at. Let's look at how, like, some financial advice then, so that you can have a better relationship with your financial abundance. So yeah, taking care of your inner child, making sure that you're in a space of peace, that's going to attract your money like incredibly. And making sure that there's no one in your life or nothing in your life that you can give your money to that's unhealthy. The minute you get money and you start to spend it on things that are not good for you, alcohol, drugs, friends that you shouldn't be hanging around, you know, bars, strip clubs, online cams, you know, Pornhub extensions, like stuff like that, you really need to ask yourself if you're doing what's best for you. And if you know that those are like environments that used to be really bad for you, then you need to give yourself a minute to think about what it is you're doing, because it feels to me like you're relapsing. That's what a relapse is. And trust me, I used to say all the time, I don't believe in addiction. I don't think addiction's real. All those things. I never believed in addiction. I just felt like I am doing drugs because I want to do drugs. But if every time I said to myself, hey, I should stop and do something creative, and I was like, no, I'm going to smoke and then go do something creative, that's the addiction speaking. It's like, I don't want to be sober right now. I want to be under the influence. And it's like, well, why? Because I don't feel comfortable. So why don't you work to be comfortable? Because it's hard. So you would rather be under the influence than improve your life. I would rather be under the influence while I'm improving my life, but technically you need it because you won't do it otherwise. So you're an addict. Like, you're not going to change your life or like improve your circumstances. You're just going to keep doing it, even if you should stop, because it's better if you stop. I would be so pissed off at myself with those realizations. I'd be like, shut up. And then I'd go smoke, and it would be the worst fucking high of my life because I was fighting with myself. So, I don't know. If you're giving stuff to the environments that are not good for you, that's probably a really big sign that you're not doing really well, and your abundance is going to stop, because the universe doesn't want to keep giving to your death. It doesn't want to. It'll keep giving you so that you can afford your life, but if you start to use those resources that are going towards your rent, your utilities, and all that stuff on drugs, then that's when addiction is taking over, and the actual abundance of being able to give yourself this life where you're like, what is because this represents your mind. What is my mind thinking of? Let me go and create and make a safe space for me to have ideas so that I can then go and, you know, achieve them in a non-stressful environment. Like, that's going to go away because you're now in a stressful environment. So just be very careful, I guess, would be my advice for you guys. Not be careful, don't fucking do it. See, I don't want to be mean to you, so I'm going to say be careful because I love you. I also have 3 cards that fell on the floor here. I'm going to give them to you. Number 1, these are like messages. I don't know why it's coming out like this because none of the other readings had this, but number 1, your inner child is basically saying that you're doing a really great job. You're doing a really, really great job, and they're proud that you're helping them because, you know, obviously the people who were responsible for helping them, like, you didn't have responsibility over taking care of your innocence. Like, that was not your job. But the people who were responsible for that did a terrible fucking job. So the inner child is coming in to say you're doing a really great job, and don't beat yourself up because being a parent and being a responsible person, a responsible parent, is a really fucking hard job. So you're doing really well. And then basically, there's also the 9 of Cups coming through. You got quite a good range of cards coming through. So I feel like you're pretty balanced. You're just like a naturally very balanced person. But maybe you're having anxiety or stress about falling back into this life or something like that. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be anxious. You're doing a really great job. You have tools now to be able to increase your money, treat yourself with more respect, and not fall back into those patterns. So good for you. The Knight of Cups is basically saying that I heard the reading's ending soon. Oh my god, okay, rude. I don't know who's over this, but yeah, I'm just joking. The reading's ending there, and it's basically coming in to say that, you know, I feel like you guys learn a lot here, and I don't want to keep pushing you guys and making you guys feel bad, but I think the reminder of how easy it was to slip into that lifestyle is a really good reminder for where your finances go next. And I think even in life, you may end up doing something that helps people who have addictions and who struggle with addiction. And I don't mean speaking at AA, I mean like really creating something that helps people who had a struggle similar to yours and to overcome that, at least on a mental level, right? With this card over here. So that experience wasn't for nothing, and at least now that you have your shit together and you have somebody that you care about, which is yourself, you can really give yourself the life that you deserve, and that's going to be something that keeps your mind occupied, okay, and on good things to come, and that will make money so much easier to come in, because when you're flowing in happiness, that's what money does. Money flows. Money just comes in and it goes. Like, so, you know, if you can flow and you can be in like a good space and take care of your space and just be free, money's gonna find it so easy to come to you. Because the reason it was so hard to create a good life for yourself before, or why it was like so harsh when money was always like money's involvement in your life was always so like jarring, like whether it was positive or negative, it was very, very like jarring, not calm, not casual, not cool, not responsible at all, is because, you know, you didn't have that relationship with money. I don't know where I'm going with that. It was because you weren't in a flowing state. It was literally because you weren't in a flowing state. You were just really caught up and needing it to survive, as opposed to wanting it now to give yourself a good life. So hopefully that helps you guys with these messages. I love you. Remember to do your shadow work, okay? This may have been getting a bit tough. You may have had a bit of financial downs, but there's an up that's coming, and that's when you start to really work on yourself, okay? You guys may also have Scorpio energy. I'm sensing that you guys are not very open with people. I feel like throughout this reading, I felt like I was on one wave, and then I would pick up something else. I was like, okay, so what's going on? So I feel like some of you guys are Scorpios, some of you guys are maybe Pisces, some of you guys are maybe Aquarius too, and you just struggle maybe to open up with people. Cancer, but you know, you deserve happiness, so flow, be free to be able to be you, and money will come in because you're just being that kid, you know. That's you. Alrighty, I love you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Your reading was the longest. I'm pretty sure it went on for an hour. I'm so sorry. Well, actually, it went on for 15 minutes, so I'm not sorry. You got what you needed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this reading, if you want to keep up with the channel. And I'm putting some light energy into my comment section, so go comment anything that you guys want that's positive, that reminds you of why you're achieving your goals, or just something that's going to help you keep on track with what you're doing, help others keep on track with what they're doing, and you know, be something that can be manifested as a collective. Like, if you're wanting a dream of yours to come true, then you put it down there, and we're going to hype you up. We're going to make sure that you know that this is 100% you, and that we're rooting for you, and that's all that there is to it, okay? So I will see you guys in another reading. Bye, my pal threes. Hello, my pal number 4s. If you guys picked the selenite wand that is broke, this reading is for you. Okay, I just picked up an energy in here and I like it. I like this energy. It's giving Aquarius energy and Capricorn energy. Capricorn, Aquarius, Leo, Cancer, Libra. Whew. Aries. What comes after Aries? Leo. Did I say Leo? I did. Yeah, this is giving me that energy. You guys are so beautiful. Woo! Woo! I need to really let that hit you and hit me. I'm talking to beautiful people today. Beautiful creatures. What is it? Let's celebrate, 'cause we are beautiful creatures. Come sing away and sing songs about freedom. La 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 la. Ooh. There's a song. It's in Rio 2. It's called Beautiful Creatures. You should look it up on it's not, I don't know if it's on Spotify, but it is on, or SoundCloud, I don't know, but it's on YouTube. This song reminds me of you guys. Let's celebrate, for we are beautiful creatures. Come celebrate and we'll sing songs about freedom, like la 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 ooh ooh. Then for the jungle beneath us, like la 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 ooh ooh. For we are beautiful creatures. Come this way, celebrate. Such a banger. Ah. Laugh and dance all the way. Okay, so I'm picking up here Leo energy, like it's no one's business. I'm picking up, okay, that you guys spend a lot of money to make yourselves look good, or to maintain your life of luxury, like your look. I feel like you guys have put money and fun in the same boat, and that's actually such a great relationship with money. You have no idea. Money is just a tool to give you a human experience, so the experience of being a human. When you have money, you can have multiple experiences, and that's the point of being human, so that you can go through multiple things. So you have access to a wider range of things and more control over what experiences you have. Money is a great way for you to manifest and have fun. People say money can't solve all, money is the root, isn't the root tap. What is it? Money can't buy happiness. It doesn't need to. It just needs to help you get the experience that's going to make you happy a lot of the time, or not a lot like as in all, but enough of the time. And those experiences are going to be really fucking good most of the time. So when you're in a good place, obviously, because when you're not in a good place, it can be hard. Okay, so we're beautiful people here. I feel like maybe you guys struggle with your insecurities. I'm picking that up. I feel like you guys struggle with self-worth. You've now, like, at first money was just like, yeah, I've got money, let's go out and spend and have a good time, which was like really good. But now it's sort of like, oh, I need to like buy that like new Gusha because my face is like really fat and I don't love the way that I look, and I'm gonna go to that party on the weekend and everyone's gonna like think I look like shit, so I'm gonna buy the newest Windsor Smith boots and really slay. And like you're like, money is now something that you use to bypass. And I'm gonna be so real with you. In time, I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to say it to you anyway. In time, money is going to become something that isn't going to mask your insecurities anymore. You will be somebody who is that person who's like, oh, they have a lot of money, but you can tell they don't really like themselves, like that they're going through shit. I felt the collective, oh my God. So I feel like self-care, you do a lot of self-care to make yourself feel good and to make yourself feel exclusive and classy and stuff like that. But do you do it because you feel like you're taking care of yourself and you enjoy taking care of yourself, or are you doing it because that's the lifestyle that you want to have? Because there's a difference. People don't do skincare to feel amazing and to say, I do skincare. People do skincare because they have a proneness to dry skin, to oily skin, to, you know, like, I feel like you've forgotten that there are things that exist out here that go beyond what society has coined them to be in an aesthetic sense. Not everything is aesthetic. You're not aesthetic. You're not aesthetic personified. You're just a person who's pretty, really pretty, and who has a chance at really great opportunities that involve them being beautiful. But you can't be afraid that your beauty is your responsibility and not society's responsibility, because I feel like that's where you're going right now, where it's like, I'm pretty because I do everything society tells me to. I'm going to tell you right now, one day someone's going to call you ugly, people are going to laugh, and it's going to break your fucking heart, because you work very hard to be pretty, but you don't really work hard to maybe feel pretty and accept what pretty feels like, which is nothing. Everyone got a story in this reading. So my pile 4s, I'm going to give you your story before we start, just like I did pile 3. So when I was in high school, I struggled a lot with my looks. Let's actually start from the beginning. So when I moved to the country I live in right now, which is Australia, I had never experienced like severe body dysmorphia. I kind of felt like I knew what pretty was. Like, I knew what fashion was and like beauty was. I was really into like jewelry. I was really into makeup and stuff like that before I moved here. But I never felt like, oh my God, I'm like hideous and ugly. I just didn't feel like I was attractive to boys, and it was okay because I wasn't like looking for any boys. I was just like, I'm myself. Like, I don't know. It was like, I was just very, I have Aquarius moon as well. So it's just like, I don't know. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna just make sure I'm doing me authentically. That's all it is. So anyway, I meet these people, and all of a sudden I'm hearing all these stories about girls who have eating disorders, and girls who are cutting themselves, and girls, like, trigger warning, but girls who are harming themselves because they don't feel good, they don't look good, their partners broke up with them, and all these things. Now I feel very confused because I can't relate, and I feel like bad because I can't relate. I don't know why. I feel like, is that the way to get a boyfriend? Because I think the reason I don't know that is because I've never heard of that. So now I'm like, maybe I need to have that in my life. I need to do that, you know? So anyway, I end up getting into high school, and luckily all my friends are people who look really, really different races, different body sizes, different levels of intelligence. So instead of gravitating towards trying to be pleasing for somebody else, we were all just like, we accepted that we were different. And because we had those similar experiences when we were at our old schools before we met, it was like, okay, well, now we also know that we're not attractive people. We're not the desired people. The people who are desired are the eating disorder people, the people who are cutting themselves, the people who talk about it, who post about it on social media, who post those quotes on social media. And we just stare in awe because those are the girls who have boyfriends. So, you know, we don't know any fucking better. I was not even fucking 11. I was like literally 11 when I was seeing this, and I didn't know. So high school starts to go on, and then I start to see a lot of my friends start to change, and they're really, really focused on their weight, and they're talking about women's bodies. I remember coming up to my friends and sitting with them because the bell had rang and it was morning tea, and my friends were talking about nipple sizes, and they were like, oh my God, like, girls with big nipples, like, how fucking disgusting. Like, oh my God, you're never gonna get a boyfriend. Like, who's into you if you've got that? And I was shocked because I'm not gonna tell you what I've got, but I'm gonna tell you something. I was shocked, taken aback, y'all. I was like sitting there, tiny, not even fucking 14, just like, oh, okay, whoa. I didn't know that. I thought the cutting was one thing. I thought the eating disorders was another. Now we can't have like, okay, so I was in the trap. I did not know anything. So at first, when I look at pictures of myself back then, I looked impeccable. I was clean. I took care of myself. I walked with a smile. I was confident. No one bothered me. I never felt teased. I was myself authentically, and that's what really mattered to me. And I just went with that vibe. I had nervousness, but I didn't have anxiety. I had sometimes stress, but I never had depression. It was like that experience of life. I was very in the physical 3D human experience. Then I start going to school more and more. My friends are changing. They're taking pictures and they're emphasizing a thigh gap that they don't have by pushing their bodies out, you know. All of them are starting to buy wire bras. My mom would not buy me one. She was like, don't even fucking ask me again. Like, don't even ask me again. So all my friends are getting, you know, boom, everything looks really nice. And now I'm sitting here like in my little training, you know, my training bra, my, you know, my body looking the way it does. Like, I'm the only person, there's one other person at my school who's as brown as me. Like, I'm just like realizing as they're starting to conform that there's no way I can conform. I didn't even think about trying to do these things because I was so confused. I was so shocked. I was like, I can't believe you guys are doing that. When I would like fit in and we would like be walking together as a group, I was like pushed towards the back. So I always made sure that my friend was always with me. I was like, hey, you need to walk with me because they don't want me in their like the front four, you know. That's the front four that are looking the best, that are like getting the eyes, that are working to get the eyes, you know. So I just stayed in the back and I ended up being the funny friend, and I started to get really insecure. I started to gain a lot of weight when I was in high school, like a lot of weight. I started to get really bad acne, really bad hormonal acne, and it just got to the point where by the time I was graduating, I was so defeated with high school. I had no friends. I didn't try to make friends anymore, and I was over it. I was like, you're all liars, you're all fakes, and at least I have the ability to be myself, but man, did I have to go through an upheaval to be myself. I was mean, I was aggressive by the time I ended school because I was like, why am I, to do what? To match for who? To be for who? You all sat there and gurgitated this bullshit information, and now you want me to be, now you enjoy it. Like, I don't know, it just felt so psychological to me. I felt like the only reason I had friends is because you're so able to be yourself. That's like so much fun. Where I was like, no, you're not being yourself, and I'm upset right now because I'm the only person who's literally being me and no one has my back, you know. I learned what beauty was at a very, very, like, growing through high school, but I was not the beauty standard. So I look great now. I look beautiful now. I have a great face. I have a great body. I'm so confident in myself. And that's because I went through so many years of not being able to do anything about the fact that I didn't look good. Because the truth is, what was desirable to females was an aesthetic that I could not fit into. I tried to, and it didn't work because I was so scared. I was so fucking scared, you guys. I was trembling. I was like, no, I can't do it. I tried having eating disorders and vomiting, and it was like my throat, oh my God. Whenever I would do it, I would start crying. I was crying on the toilet because I was like, what am I doing? So I got into binge eating instead, because if I can't not eat, I'm gonna eat. And I started getting into not taking care of my skin because I was like, if I can't hurt my skin, I might as well as not take care of my skin, you know? And it just became a very big thing. My high school experience became a very big thing. So I don't really remember how I got here, but I was very envious of everybody that I went to school with. Very, very envious of everyone I went to school with, because I felt like you can live an illusion and be fine, and I have to fucking be myself. That's not desirable. Like, I know it's not desirable because everyone's changed and everybody, like, there's a standard I'm aware of now exists. Like, I know. So when I got older, I started to basically hang out with people who focused a lot on being pretty and focused on being really attractive, and they had money to put towards being attractive, and I didn't have any money. The money that I was making at work was going towards being able to afford being able to hang out with those people. That was like literally at like dinners and stuff. I couldn't afford that. I was not making enough money to be able to afford that, but I was putting it towards that. It was towards going to the shittiest fucking outlet for clothes and not even being able to afford more than a top and a skirt every single time. It was literally so hard. It was having to pay for my own fares to get around places, and for them it was a no-brainer. Let's just go all the way to the other side of town for like pictures. Like, are you kidding me? That's like a quarter of what I made this week. Like, I'm not joking. It was harsh. Ubers, everybody. Who wants to pay? Oh, I guess I will, because, you know, I don't look the best. I like literally would put myself in financially hard situations because I felt like I was the burden of the group. Like, I don't look good for you guys, so let me pay for things. Let me prove that I deserve to be here. And it was really hard. I put myself in embarrassing situations, you know, like, oink like a pig. Who's doing that? Oh, I will, like, I guess, and I'm not blaming them, I'm not putting these people down, I'm not shaming them, but they got a kick out of it. These people loved it, they enjoyed it, because what else are you gonna fucking do? You're telling me I look pretty, and this is what pretty gets me. So I saw that the two horrible swords towards being super into being pretty. Number one, it's the self-harm, the self-neglect, and number two, it's the neglect of other people. The lack of empathy. When you don't love yourself, you won't love other people. And even though I picked up on a really pretty vibe here, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. This vibe feels actually really fucking internally at peace. There's no happiness here. Selenite is a cleansing energy. I'm cleansed. But we saw an uprising in the Crystal Girls and all those things, and they started to be boys coming out saying, you're not like, it's not Mercury retrograde, babes. You're actually just a bitch. You talk shit all the time about your friend. It's not you being a Gemini. No, you're not sexy because you're a Scorpio. It's because, you know, you're walking with half your ass out, you know? Like, all these things, because people started to take spirituality and trivialize it. They started to make it popular. So everybody was buying crystals. Everybody was getting tarot cards. Everybody was doing this thing without really realizing that this is about life. This is about dabbling with information. In the Bible, like, I'm not religious, but in the Bible, there literally it's removed in some Bibles literally today, because they're like, we don't want to talk about that. But the angels came down and they said, the bad angels that are like Satan, the fallen angels, they came down and they said, hey, let me show you guys some stuff. Let me show you guys some stuff. So this was part of it. This was a part of it. Astrology, tarot, stuff like that. It was like, God didn't want people to see this, because the way that people can grab onto things and make it something that it's not, make it a personality trait to be a horrible person, a personality trait to not take care of yourself, a personality trait to be attracted to red flags. Are you kidding me? A personality trait to not know that Scorpio men are not horrible men. And yet that's the narrative that's being spun everywhere by people who claim to be astrologists and tarot readers. Why? Because they don't know any better. Because the society has taken it and it's a running fucking joke, and you look good if you fucking do it, and you don't really care about the work that actually goes into taking care of yourself. So when I'm not trying to have a go at you if you're really into this stuff, or even if you just use it for your social media. I don't care. Whatever. Do what you're gonna do. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you are really focused on what society perceives of you, you neglect that there's a human being behind your mask. There's a human being behind the personality you put out there. And when you go home and you wear that mask to bed, you become a whole new person. My first boyfriend, actually, you got your story. You got your story, but I've got stories, y'all. So, and he wasn't even my first boyfriend, so let's clear that guy's name, because yeah. But yeah. How did I find that I was pretty? Basically, it was so interesting, because whenever I was with people, so when I got out of high school, I basically took a lot of time to become who I am, and I started to dabble with substances. So I was really into pot and really into alcohol for a while. Most of my friends were not into pot. They were not into drugs. They were really into alcohol. And I was like, alcohol, I'm gonna drink it, but my thing is like marijuana, you know? No, it's okay. Okay, so yeah, my thing is really marijuana. And so, I don't know, I just felt like I started to disconnect from people around me, because I was not really like when you're drinking and when you're smoking, you're on two different vibrations. And my friends were always drinking, I was always smoking, and we were like, we'll hang out with each other. But you know what? I started to stop caring about the way that I looked around them. I was like, you guys are my friend. They would see me coming in the daggiest shit, and I could tell they would look at each other like, what's going on? This is ruining our aesthetic, our group aesthetic. This is ruining it. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't have any money, and my life is in shambles. And if you don't like me, just tell me to go home and I'll go, because there I have weed. So my friends just basically sucked it up, because they didn't want to be mean. They didn't want to look like they were fucking shitty people. I don't know why they didn't tell me to go, because they were fine talking so much shit behind my back. It's not even a fucking joke. Like, the toilet was jealous. I'm not joking. And I would have just gone home. But you know what? I was happy to get out of the house sometimes, because I was not in the best home situation. So yeah. And then I basically slowly, those people would they would say things to me that were, I would talk about my life, and they'd be like condescendingly like, yeah, but you know, maybe you should like, I don't know, like get your life together or something. Like, maybe, you know. And I was like, what are you guys doing every day? Oh, you're doing drinks. You're meeting up when I'm not there because I can't afford it, but where you're getting drinks every time, every single time. And you're not advancing your careers and you don't really care about that stuff. And you're going to uni about a year after you graduated and you're telling me what to do when I'm the one who enrolled for uni first. I don't have money to just do courses out of my fucking ass. So, you know, I don't know why you're coming at me. I'm living my life. I thought that's what we were doing here. You guys wanted to walk and look cute. Okay, well, I'm gonna walk and look like a stoner, and that's what we're gonna do. That's the dynamic of the group, right? That's what we're gonna do. So eventually they stopped inviting me to things and I started to hang out by myself. I started to meet more people, but even with those people, I was emotionally closed off because I just knew what people could be like. I knew what people could do. I'd seen it my whole life, especially like women. I'd seen it my whole life. And from men who want validation from women, it's even worse to be around them. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be like the one who's just isolated, but I'm a chill time. I'm a nice person. Like, this is me being myself. I'm just doing me. And eventually I started to get back into things that I was really into when I was a kid. I got into jewelry, I got into fashion, I got into beauty, I got into lifestyle and wellness, and I got into, you know, happiness. I did, unfortunately, go down a road where I was unhappy with my body and uncomfortable with my body because I was at a time looking for a boyfriend and nobody was asking me out. I didn't know it was because people have insecurities, people have things that they're not comfortable with, especially men. You think it's all you, but sometimes men are not going to act on things because they're overwhelmed and they can't handle it. So they're going to say, well, fuck this, I'm not doing it. Just like you do when you don't want to do something as a woman. So I didn't understand, and I thought it was something that was wrong with me. And then I basically realized that there's nothing wrong with me. I look really, really great. I started to lose friends because people would always tell me that they felt inferior to me. But these are people who had different body types to me. These are people who look different to me, different skin tones to me. So I was like, I can't help with that. Like, I feel like you just have to find love and be around people who look like you a bit more, because it took me a really long time to become myself. And if you feel that way towards me, I'm incredibly uncomfortable helping you overcome that, because I don't know, like, it just reminds me of, like, I don't like that. Like, stop. So people would get upset at me because I wasn't open with people. I wasn't emotionally open with women, especially women. I just couldn't do it because I knew what women could do. I knew what women would go to, what lengths they would go to just fucking fit in. And I was like, I can't do that. But one thing I will take with me is that I learned that lifestyle and wellness is a lifestyle, and it's not about fitting in and looking good to society. When I was in high school and I was into tarot and all that stuff, when nobody else was into that shit, I was fucking weird. People would listen to me talk, but you could tell they were like, finish up already. Finish talking, because what the hell are you talking about? Whenever I would tell my friends about my spiritual experiences, they'd be like, wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I had one friend in particular who was always like, okay, anyway, yeah. Whenever I was telling my friends about things that were like, I was healing and stuff like that within me, and things that I was finding that were like really deep about myself, they would just be like, yeah, I'm really happy for you. And then like leave. There was no like emotional support. You know, I was neglected. But these are the same people who would dress up for a party, who would spend a couple grand on a nice outfit, on some nice jewelry to go out and look good, but you can't even treat your friend with fucking respect and dignity. You can't even do that. So I have a feeling here, yeah, you guys look really, really good, but maybe your financial situation could be better if you started to realize why you spend money on the things that you spend money on. And we're going to get even more into that, but I have a feeling that if you were a bit more confident in yourself, you would realize that money isn't keeping you pretty. You're just pretty. You're a pretty fucking person already, but you don't have to spend so much to look a certain way, because maybe your actual personality is suffering under that. And I do also want to say that the girls who were, when I got older, who are spending money on clothes and jewelry and stuff like that, and going out and all those things all the time, and that was their personality, that was literally who they were, those are the same people who were dabbling with eating disorders. They were the same people who were dabbling with using pills to get skinny. They were the same people who were drinking under the age limit because it stopped them from being like hungry and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they were the same people. So I'm just saying, if like money ties into that and you can't heal your wounding, especially when you were little, learning the same conditioning that I was, but actually going out and doing it, or watching people you love go out and do it, and then making that your personality when you got older, like, you're never going to be as financially independent as you're going to be, because your inner child is crying and you're putting on some motherfucking Sephora. Like, it's just not making any fucking sense. I pulled all your cards already. I don't know why I did that, but we're just gonna go into it. And like, let's look at where your financial situation is at currently. So yeah, there is somebody who has a really strong grip over you. I'm sensing that it could be friends in your life first and foremost. It could be friends in your life first and foremost, who look really good and you want to maintain that image. I'm going to tell you right now, those relationships are not fucking worth it. You look so good. And also you look, I don't want to say you look better than them because beauty is a construct, but you look amazing. The independence that you will feel from not conforming is an independence that they wish they had because their inner child isn't inside them. Not saying, I'm so happy that I can't love myself and that no, they're saying, I want to be able to be free. I don't want to wear the silk dress. I don't want to go out in the fancy shoes. I don't want to go out in the blazer. It's freaking summer. Come on. You know, they're not going to be like, their inner child is screaming at them. So if you find freedom and your inner child's like, I'm at peace, their inner children are going to be like, teach me, because they will see that in you. Even if what they end up showing you is an ego that can't handle that, what it's wanting is to be more chilled out, to be more okay being not perfect. So I'm sensing it's friends, but I'm also sensing that your finances have a hold on you. So you may be the person who spends a lot of money to go out and look really, really good, to get praise and do those things. But then you go home and then you're also in an environment where you're like, I'm so happy with my life, everything is going really well. And then when you have breakdowns about like your self-worth and stuff like that, there's an emotional disconnect between the lifestyle that you're living. If you are crying yourself to sleep every once in a while, saying to yourself like, oh my God, I wish I was prettier, I wish I was, you know, all of these things, I don't fit in, but then you go out and you're like, I'm that bitch, I look amazing. There's an emotional disconnect here. And it's because the lifestyle that you're living that's promoting this idea is not actually feeding your soul. You're feeling empty on the inside because you already know that it doesn't matter how much money that you put into this lifestyle. You're never going to feel pretty unless you feel pretty. So maybe you need to start putting money into something that actually makes you feel good. Therapy, gym, because gym can help your mental health. Pilates, you know, swimming is another one. You might want to do like cycling, a cycling class, or literally getting a bike and going cycling. You might want to start doing weights because weights might help you, you know, work through some mental strain and like that feeling of I can't do it, I can't do it, I can do it. You start lifting weights, you're like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Your confidence goes up, you know. You may also really benefit from doing shadow work. You might have been drawn to pile number 3, but if you're here for a reason. So yeah, you may be really drawn to doing shadow work because what shadow work basically is you working through your emotional pain. It's you working through the reason why you feel like shit. It's not just you going, why? I don't really want to know because I just want to cry. It's you going, no, I'm not going into this crying. I'm going into this strong and mature because I want to be strong and mature and happy, and I'm not. So why am I upset? Why do I cry all the time? What circumstances bring up that feeling in my life? How can I stop feeling like that? What do I know in my heart is contributing to this environment? Who in my life isn't helping me to feel more confident? Who in my life can't see that I'm not confident? Who in my life actually prefers when I'm a version of myself when I'm fake and will tease me when I'm actually being myself? You know, how did I end up so lost in this journey? Which parent made me feel like I wasn't good enough? What person in my life did I meet a while ago that gave me validation, and I ran with that validation and decided to be perfect? Who have I been trying to copy for most of my life? Who have I been trying to look up to? Who has negative ideas of beauty and grace and all those things, and I just listen to them regardless? Who's my inspiration? When you know, when did this personality develop that I have? Like all of those things, you need to ask yourself those questions, because that's when you are going to realize, holy shit, I can be really pretty and really sexy, and I don't have to hide behind that. And the natural confidence you will feel, as opposed to like the and go confidence, is going to be so much better because you're going to have an air of sexiness. And yes, not everybody's going to be attracted to it. Not everyone's going to be looking at you, desiring you, wanting that. But you know who is? The real fucking people who want you in their life. And they're going to be sexy as shit. They're going to look really fucking good. They're going to be ready to go stunt, help you to get your money up, get your career up, do all those things that you want to do. I'm also picking up the drinking needs to stop. And some of you guys, you don't want to do that. You're going, no. And you're going, even now, okay, no, but you need to. The drinking needs to stop, because when you get drunk, you start to not give it, you start to shit talk yourself. I'm not even joking. You're like, I felt like shit yesterday, but that's just because I'm a stupid bitch. Like, rage, like, we're in it for the good time, not a long time. Like, who's crying? Not me. That's so fucking stupid. Like, yeah. The drinking is affecting your finances because when you get drunk and you shit talk yourself, you go home and then you don't feel secure enough, comfortable enough with yourself because you just shat all over her. Like, why would I feel good with myself after I did that? No, I'm going home to feel like shit. You know, you just made yourself feel like shit, and then you're not going to feel comfortable enough to say to yourself, hey, so makeup, how does that make us feel? Like, no one's going to want to talk to you at that point. Your brain's going to say, shut up, bitch. Your third eye is going to say, I don't want to show you happiness because you're not going to find it happy. You're going to think it's disgusting. You're going to make fun of it at the next outing. I don't want to go there. Your heart's going to say, you're obviously not fucking ready for it. Your throat's going to say, bullshit answers, hiding, bare minimum, no depth. Your sacral chakra is going to say either I'm actually too good to do this or you're clearly too good to do this. So I'm actually just going to retreat here and I just want to cry. And your sacral chakra is just going to either go to bed, cry, feel really bad, or go get a drink. Or in your root chakra is just going to say, well, you know what? We suck. We are pathetic. You're goddamn right. So all I'm saying is that be very careful with the relationship you build with yourself. You need to start by being really soft and delicate with yourself. Even if you're a man watching this reading, you would really benefit from being super, like, nice to yourself. Really, like, accepting of yourself and just saying, you know what, this weekend I'm not going to go out for a week and I'm going to take some time to talk to myself. You don't have to give up drinking right away, but I would recommend, I honestly believe at some point in your life you're going to stop drinking completely because you're a happier person when you're not drinking and you have so much emotional trauma and stress from drinking. It's like you don't need to try to give yourself happiness and validation and stuff like that. It's just like, it's not real. So okay, you're so pretty though. I just want to let you know that. I don't want you to feel like you haven't worked hard to be pretty. You've worked fucking hard, especially in a society that tells you how to be pretty, and the way that it tells you to be pretty is through fucked up channels, and that's what you've been listening to your whole life. You've elevated past that. You understand a level of beauty, class, elegance, and grace that exists, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, and I'm glad, I'm happy, I love to hear that. But if you don't know how to separate the outside personality, the ego, the illusion from the inner child that wants to be at peace, comfortable wearing sweatpants, you know, maybe not putting on the Victoria's Secrets every day because it makes you like your nose ruffle or whatever, then you're in trouble and your finances are going to suffer because your financial situation is all about how you flow. So if you flow around people who are bad for you, sure, you'll get money and you have enough money to be able to afford that life, but it will never be the life that makes you happy. That money will never go towards things that make you happy, and you will wonder why at the end of the day that you're unhappy. If you want financial abundance, security, to just be lounging and chilling, feeling good, looking good, with everything that you want, you have to have a better relationship to your inner child, because that's the person who's going to say, okay, now that we've done the work, now that we've talked to ourselves, now we're more comfortable with ourselves, how about we spend some money on a boost juice this like weekend instead of getting drinks? And then you start to feel a lot more in health, a lot more in peace, a lot happier when you start to do little things and then bigger things and then bigger things that contribute to your healthy lifestyle. And you know, eventually money will start to come in that's like lump sums of money, large amounts of money, because it knows this person's not going to spend this money on things that are going to make them feel shitty. Why are you attracting money to spend things on things that are shitty? You're going, I'm attracting money so I can spend it on things that make me happy. But if you don't even realize that these things make you unhappy, money's not going to come in because you didn't manifest to spend money on things that secretly make you unhappy. You manifested to spend money on things that make you happy. So money's going to come in. And if you start to manifest money so that you can be able to spend it on anything you want, or it shouldn't matter that I'm manifesting for things that make me unhappy because consciously I'll be able to break out of that trap, then you will start to get some lump sum money. But like I said, your looks are going to start to go downhill. Your ability to cognitively recognize yourself is going to go downhill. You're going to attract people who don't look fucking energetically good, physically good at all, that look sick, and you're not going to know it. You're not going to fucking know it. So yeah. People have to realize that you're not just your physical body, you're your aura as well. And if you're walking around people who don't look good, who have a negative relationship to themselves, what do you think that says about you in public? People can tell. If children can tell, people can fucking tell. Adults can fucking tell. And the people who come up to you and act like they don't fucking know what they see are people who are gonna do your life harm. And the people who could be in your life doing your life good, they're not gonna be attracted to you. They're just not. They're gonna be like, you look great, and I love your dress and your shoes. Chef's kiss, amazing. You walk really nice. You have a great smile. Have you done modeling? You look great. But in there, you're just gonna know, they're gonna be like, nice to meet you, I'm leaving now because I'm going somewhere that makes me feel really good. I feel okay here, but I'm going somewhere that makes me feel really good. And if that's the life that you want for yourself, which is actually a level elevated, elusivity. No, elusivity is like, you don't know what I'm thinking. It's actually more like exclusivity. You haven't mastered that yet. Maybe you've mastered grace, public grace. Maybe you've mastered public reform, elegance, but you've not mastered exclusivity. And I did say you did before, because exclusivity is a mindset, but there's the mindset that you have, and that mindset can be toxic when you think you're better than everybody else. I'm exclusive, you're trash. And then there's actual exclusivity, which is the knowledge of what you bring to the table, and the knowledge that people that you're around sometimes don't have that. So you're exclusive and you walk away. You're not there yet. And that's fucking okay. I'm just being honest. All these readings, I feel horrible being honest with you guys, but finances, you have to be real, because money is a tool that helps you to be happy. And if you're not making the money that you want, or you want to be making more money, you need to realize that the reason why is because you're not happy. You're not in a happy fucking situation. So let's just look at any other messages that want to come out, because I feel like that was pretty much the tea. So how can we help you improve your financial situation? Basically, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, health, wellness, give back to yourself in a healthy space. Stop the drinking, stop all that shit. Give to yourself healthily. More money will come in, because you're connecting to your inner child and you're treating her with the respect she deserves, as opposed to the fakeness you think she needs in order to fit into society. If you think that she can't, your inner child, that baby, can't fit into society and be liked by people, then why would you make it like why would you get money to make her life happy when you're making her life shit? You're like the biggest thing making her life shit. If you actually believe and trust that she can be whoever she wants to be and be popular, liked, and attractive energetically, physically, whatever to people, then money's gonna come in, because you're treating her with the respect that she deserves, because it's so true that she can do that. She was lied to by people who told her that she couldn't, and you cannot be her biggest bully. So give back to yourself in a space of health and wellness, and money is gonna start fucking coming in. Number 2, surrounding yourself with better fucking people as well. If you're gonna start giving to yourself healthily, sure, money might come in, or you might start seeing that you're saving money, but you might not start getting money in, because the thing is, if she's hanging around, or if he's hanging around people who are not good for him, that make him feel like shit at the end of the day, why again would you be getting money to give him a happy life, or to give you, his biggest bully, a happy life, when he is literally you? He's just an unaware version of yourself who's grown up and gone through so much shit that he's forgotten that he's a kid. But why give that ego that now thinks that he's the person fucking charge anything? No. You'll get dust. You'll get the bare fucking minimum, because that baby is who deserves the best. They were told that they didn't, and you can't be their biggest fucking bully. So be careful who you surround yourself with, because they will affect your fucking finances, and they will affect your aura, and they will affect the way that you move in this world. If they affect your aura, they affect your look. And if they affect the way that you move in this world, they affect your happiness. And if they affect your finances, they affect your opportunities. Or they basically affect their opportunities. They affect everything. They affect your fucking playing field. So yeah, just be careful. People are fucking weird. Okay. I do also want to say, like, I don't know. That's about it, actually. You got the 2 of Cups over here. You might be somebody who's afraid of being by themselves for a little bit, but you're your own best friend. You literally are. You will have the best relationship in this time on this planet if you become your best friend, your own best friend. So treat yourself with the respect that you deserve by becoming your own best friend. And people will show up and be your best friend. People will show up and actually want to be around you, because if you love yourself enough to treat yourself with respect, why wouldn't people want to be around somebody who's like that? You like, but people want to be around the guys who are mean and make snarky comments towards women. No, the guys who want to be around those guys are the mean guys who make mean and snarky comments. And that's just what you see, because you're not trying to find the great people by being a great person to yourself first, and then looking for them, you know? If you don't want to be nice to yourself, the nice people don't want to be around you. So you're going to be around people who are mean to themselves and other people. So if you start taking care of yourself, you're going to find some really nice people. That's how they show up, okay? You got to trust in that. You've just got to believe in that, because that's going to be for you. And then lastly, nice, we've got a good time going. We've got the Two of Wands over here, and this one is basically talking about maybe you feel scared about time and how much time you have to achieve your goals and stuff like that. Trust me, if the universe wanted you to not achieve your goals, you wouldn't achieve your goals. And we have been told for years and years and years that people during the 50s and 60s and whatever died on their deathbeds being unhappy. But you know why they died on their deathbeds being unhappy? Because they used all the time they had being horrible people. So if you want to be a good person and have some good things in your life, start by being a good person to yourself, and you will realize I have a lot of fucking spare time now that everything shitty's out of my life. Let me fill it with some good things, and that's how you have a good life. Life hacks, baby. I'm letting you know. Your finances are going to become so freaking abundant. And I'm actually going to do something special for you guys. Here's a message from your finances. You got the Empress in reverse here. So I feel like some of you guys are feeling really triggered by how I told you about my life story. And you're maybe like, well, you know, lies. You probably were super pretty your whole life, or you probably shitted on those people and that's why you were an ugly bitch. Oh, baby, I shitted on them people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went through high school and it was a hard fucking time. I was alone a lot of it. No, I wasn't alone. I had friends, but I didn't connect with my friends. I didn't connect with anybody. I was alone emotionally all the time. And I was mean to everybody. I never let anybody in. Out of school, it was way better. I was way nicer, but I was not emotionally open with people. At school, I wasn't physically open, mentally open, spiritually open. I was like, get away from me. Stay away from me. I will shit talk you if you even look at me. And yeah. But you have to ask yourself a little bit, like, I believe in a give and receive. And I honestly don't regret that I was like that with people, because the kind of people that they were, I just feel like it was better to keep my distance and to be alone, to suffer through loneliness, to then become a person who's capable of being alone with myself and not hate it. But I honestly believe that if I don't feel guilt that I was like that to those people, like emotionally, I understand like where I came from when I did that. I feel like there were those, like, I dodged a really big bullet, and if the worst thing I was super defense mode activated around people, like bark, bark, get away from me immediately, that's the worst I was to people. And that was like the worst thing that they could have experienced in high school. I feel like if it was like, no, yeah, if it was the worst thing that I could like was experiencing in high school, just being super in defense mode, you have to wonder what kind of people those people were. Because those people, I would go through experiences at school that were so vile, just like hearing about it from people, like other people experiencing racism, for example, like people who've never done shit. I never went through that because I was like, bark, bark, stay the fuck away from me because I will fucking tear you to shreds. There are people as well who experienced like homophobia. I was like, bark, bark, stay away from me because I will tear you to shreds. Like I was always like, stay away from me because I know what kind of person you are. I know where you came from. I see what you're okay with. If the worst thing I suffered from before I even turned 11 was literally seeing people with eating disorders, like walking around thinking it was fucking cool and then shitting on everybody who didn't have it, only to then go on Instagram and be fucking sad. Trust me, by the time I got to high school, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm fucking working with. And no one came at me. No one bothered to come at me. Do you know why? Because they were exactly them fucking people. They were exactly those fucking people. I don't even care. I'm gonna fucking say it. I went through vile, vile, vile things because people were mad that I had my back before anybody else had my back. So when I see them in public and they look like shit, I'm not even joking, they look like shit physically and aurically, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, because you got exactly what it is that you deserved for feeding into that bullshit ass lifestyle. And if you fed into this and it hurt to hear it, I'm just being fucking honest. They can come here and read this and be elevated and happy that, you know what, I deserve happiness, because they do deserve fucking happiness. They do. But they don't deserve me. They don't deserve me because I was traumatized. They were traumatized. And we went about that in two different fucking ways. So if the worst thing I had to be was lonely, only to love being lonely, trust me, I had actually no fucking problem being that way with those fucking people. And you have to realize that. You have to wake up and realize you have your back before anybody else does. So don't let anybody make you fucking think for a second that cleaning up your life and giving yourself a better opportunity and staying away from the bad energies, staying the fuck away from them, making sure they know to stay away from you as well, you're not a bad person for that, because there are some twisted fucking people out there. And if those people grew up thinking it was okay to harm themselves and then make fun of other people and harm them and make them feel insecure and all of those things, you don't know what kind of adults they're going to become. So you need to get fucking really strong, because when those adults cross paths with you in real life, you're going to be the one who walks away knowing that any kid that saw knows exactly where to fucking stand. Because we don't do it just for us. We do it for the people, for children, and we do it for the people who lost their lives because this experience was too fucking intense. And it was too bullshit and it was too fucked up. Okay? So, we strong. Also, I've got Capricorn Mars, baby. Capricorn Mars. So, you know, I'm going to say how it is. And it is what it is. So, take care of yourself. I love you so much. I don't want you to feel any type of way going out of this reading. You are an innocent person at the end of the day. You were conned by the media. Why didn't the government care more that that was what was going on? Who knows? Because they have bigger fish to fry. It's not why we elected them as government, but whatever. We elected them in the first place, way back when, because they needed to take care of us. And have they been doing a very good job? Fuck no. They're putting policies and doing all this shit that doesn't have anything to do with anybody. So, and I always say that to people, and people who do politics are like, but you know, I'm like, I don't need to know, because if my kids are suffering, if kids are like, if babies are getting so traumatized by an unregulated society that even the government can't regulate, why the fuck are you there in the first place? You know? Oh, because it'll become an anarchist society. Like, it's already not. Like, they haven't monopolized our minds and our emotions and our sacred spaces and all those things. That's on the internet. That's everywhere around us. There are people, pedos, everything all around us, in the government as well. I don't mean to get on a high horse, but I'm just saying, you need to check for yourself and watch for yourself. And that's going to happen when you take care of yourself. And money, your life is going to be so fucking set up and happy because you're taking care of the one innocent person that at least you should have a moral obligation to take care of. And that is your fucking self. Because these friends are not going to do it. Alcohol is not going to do it. And thinking that you are the top shit when you feel like shit isn't going to fucking do it. And I pray for everybody who has had that experience. This is just me talking. I click out of the video. But I pray for everybody who had that experience of not feeling good enough and making themselves feel bad and making other people feel bad. I pray for, like, what is it? Release? I pray for their fucking release. Because it's sad. But a lot of those people, you'll tell them, or you'll be honest, like, hey, you need to take care of yourself. You're being mean to me. I don't like that right now. It says a lot about you. And they're going to say to you, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I look good. You look like shit. Shut up. I remember once, my last story, if you are here from Pile 4, this is my last story. My friend that I used to be friends with, when I was smoking and they were all drinking and they would spend a lot of money on, like, fashion and stuff like that. I remember we've been friends for, like, almost a decade. And they had done me so wrong. Like I said, they used to talk shit about me. And I remember I got confident. I got very confident this year. I got sober. And I said, you know what? I'm actually not going to be that person who lets people shit talk me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let people be mean to me. So I went there and I said to her on text, and I said to her, hey, you know, I hope you're doing okay. You know, it was lovely seeing you last weekend. I want to tell you that, I want to let you know that I appreciate you a lot as a friend, and I value the time that we've spent together. You've been one of my longest standing friends, and it means a lot to me. However, it is important that I get off my chest the fact that I no longer feel comfortable with how much you in particular led talking shit about me. I understand that other people were there. I understand that other people did it, but I was not in a position to defend myself. And I feel like our friendship should have meant more in terms of the respect that I receive, and you should not have treated me like that. So I'm asking for an apology after 7 years. Do you know what this person said to me? Basically, go get a life. I'm not giving you an apology, and you're obviously a really bitter person for even asking in the first place. I hope you find happiness. I was like, all that fucking jewelry, all that fucking silk, all that fucking satin couldn't make you empathetic enough to understand that you hurt me and that I deserve an apology. So yeah, I'm gonna be a bitch if I'm gonna be a bitch, because you're not gonna talk to me. You're not gonna talk to my fucking kid like that. Not after the shit that we saw and the shit that you guys were so comfortable letting become normal for little girls and little fucking boys. No fucking way. No fucking way. So yeah, get your money up. Get your money up. Whew. Alrighty, you guys, I love you so much. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any manifestations you hope to come true, write them down in the comments. I'm putting some light energy down there so that we can all hype each other up, encourage each other to grow, reach the dreams that we hope to reach. I hope I get to see you guys for another reading. Take care of yourselves. Make sure that you guys are hydrated, loved, and remember, it's not the journey, it's the destination, and you will always get there faster if you give a shit about making there faster. So do the best thing that you can do for yourself so that you can get what you want faster. Bye.